Welcome to the Astrodome, where footballs should fill the air today. Boy, should they ever. Two quarterbacks who love to put it up, Warren Moon and Dan Marino. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Donovan, along with Jimmy Cefalo. The Houston Oilers, in their house of pain, were 7-1 in here last year, but they were rocked last week on their home opener when they lost to Buffalo. They gave up 47 points. That's way too many.
It certainly is. The Buffalo Bills turned this place into the Pleasure Dome a week ago. Jim Kelly, 5 touchdown passes. One of the reasons is because Jerry Glanville, the head coach of the Oilers, likes to blitz. Sends his linebackers, sends his safeties quite often. And because of that, Kelly comes up with a big 5 scores today. If he decides to do it, to Dan Marino, there's one number I want you to remember. 554. That is the all-time single-day record set by Norm Van Brocklin for passing. It could fall today if Glanville insists on trying to blitz number 13 for the Dolphins.
If anybody could do it, Marino could. He was in that neighborhood last week. In the 30-19 lead in the fourth quarter against the Jets, he had racked up 427 yards passing. Now, the Dolphin defense is sacking quarterbacks. They lead the NFL in that department. That's a surprise, but they're still giving up a lot of points.
Yeah, those numbers are a bit misleading. For example, the Dolphin defense 6th against the rush, but they've not been tested yet in that category. They will be tested today. The Houston Oilers offensive line, very big. They average 293 across that front line. They also have the best blocking fullback in history. Not in history, but here, at least in this league right now, maybe in history, in Alonzo Highsmith. He can block. Mike Rozier is not in today because of an injury. He had a knee problem, but Alan Pickett can run the football, got a lot of quickness. He'll provide the Dolphins with a lot of trouble.
And there is Warren Moon on the sidelines, getting ready to get it cranked up. He threw for over 330 yards last week in the loss to the Buffalo Bills in overtime, and he certainly has his game face on today. All of the Oilers were very, very disappointed off the home opening loss last week to the Bills, 47-41 in overtime. Tony Zendejas has it teed up and ready to go. Mark Logan is back deep along with Jarvis Williams for the Miami Dolphins, and we're ready to go week number 4 of the regular season. Both teams stand at 1-2 coming into this game. Zendejas, who had a 52-yard field goal to tie the game and send it into overtime last week, then had one blocked in the overtime, got a second crack at it and missed, and Buffalo took the ball over and won the game. We're underway, and Logan takes it at his own 9-yard line. And Mark Logan, who returned kickoffs very well last week, gets the Dolphins off to a good start this week, as Marino will have good field position over his own 30-yard line. The offensive line, Dellenbach is now at left tackle. They'll go with a rookie, Jeff Ulenek, out of Ohio State. He's at center. Galbraith and Ronnie Lee on the right side of the line. Then, in the backfield, along with Dan Marino, it will be Stratford, and Logan gets the start for the injured fullback, Tom Brown. Duper, Clayton, and the tight end is Farrell Edmonds. When they go to their gun offense, Logan, Edmonds come out. They go with 4 wide receivers, a rookie, Andre Brown, out of Miami, and Freddie Banks out of Liberty College comes in there, too. And they'll go to that an awful lot. So, we watch Marino 1st and 10, facing an Oiler defense that really had their pride battered last week. In the backfield right now, Marino goes right into a gun with 4 wide receivers as Stratford comes out, and he comes out a wide receiver spot on the near side. 1st and 10, throwing to Jim Jensen, who checked into the lineup, and it's incomplete out at the 38-yard line. The left linebacker, John Grimsley, was over on the coverage. The Oilers front 7. Ray Childress moves to the corner again at the left end. Doug Smith is healthy again, so he comes back in at nose tackle. Jones makes up the front 3. Then the linebackers, Lyles, Grimsley, Smith, and Meads. The Oilers secondary, Brown and Allen picked on a lot last week. McDowell, a rookie out of Miami, at 1 safety, and Jeff Donaldson's back in the lineup. He was bumped out and injured in the first game of the season against Minnesota. What a play by Childress right there as he knocks down the rookie Sammy Smith, who had just checked in for Miami.
Well, Childress feels a lot more comfortable at that defensive end position. He was playing nose tackle because of injuries, but Sammy Smith, trying to come back from that injury, has no shot as Childress beats the Miami Dolphin offensive line into the backfield immediately.
So it will be 3rd down and long yardage. 3rd down, 14 to go for Miami, and they go into their gun offense right now. Duper, Clayton, Stratford lined up as a wide receiver. Jim Jensen is in the backfield. He is Mr. 3rd down for the Dolphins. He's got an incredible percentage of being in there, handling the football on 3rd down, and then getting the 1st down. Marino steps up, fires. Clayton's got it into Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Marino right on the money to number 83.
Jim, it gives you an indication about what Jerry Glanville is thinking. He did not blitz on the play. As we mentioned in the opening, he loves to do so. He dropped everybody back into coverage. Take a look at it. Clayton on the outside will break back in. And there's a zone coming across. Look at all the Houston Oilers players in front. Marino, though, drills it in between the defensive backs and the linebackers, and Clayton comes up with a big catch.
24-yard reception for Clayton, and that's what killed this Oiler defense last week. They would get Kelly in 3rd down and long, just like Marino was set there on 3rd and 14, and yet they got the first down. Here comes Sammy Smith to the near side, and Smith goes over the 45, down close to the 42-yard line where John Grimsley makes the tackle. Smith hobbled all week by an ankle injury. He's back in there and looks good so far. That was a nice run.
After his holdout, he missed the entire preseason, missed the first game against the Buffalo Bills in the regular season, then came against the Patriots and ran pretty well. But the ankle injury has hobbled him, and he will be a big part of this Miami Dolphin offense if he can stay healthy. It has been a knock against Sammy Smith since his playing days at Florida State.
Well, he got 6 on that play. 2nd down at 4. Ball is at the Houston 42-yard line. Oilers right down their 3-man defensive front. Jim Jensen is in motion. Here's Marino back. And he picks out Troy Stratford for a Miami first down to the Houston 35-yard line. Al Smith and Grimsley, the 2 linebackers on the inside for Houston, coming up and making the stop.
Stratford, 8 receptions a week ago against the New York Jets, had trouble early hanging on to the football. There he's coming out of the backfield, left side of your screen. It's another zone, and he's smart enough just to hook up in front of the linebacker, and he'll take enough yardage for a first down.
What a perfect pocket that was, wasn't it, for Marino?
Marino likes to stay into the pocket. He's not a very mobile quarterback. He's had knee problems through the years, and he's going to stay in the middle of that pocket at all costs.
New backfield for Miami. Sammy Smith and Davenport. Smith gets the carry. And he goes off the left side, and Jeff Donaldson makes the tackle with the help from Bubba McDowell, too, as the 2 safeties have to come up and play. Jerry Glanville told us on Friday, Jeff Donaldson being out of the lineup, and his team loses. Jeff Donaldson in the lineup, they usually win. He is that important to the defense.
Yeah, well, Jerry Glanville has an odd idea about football in a lot of ways. He's a very successful coach, however. He thinks the most important guy in the field is the free safety, and that's Donaldson for him. He likes a smart guy back there who has swivel hips, he calls it, who can turn and twist and get to the football. Donaldson is a good one.
And in fact, he went on to say Jimmy Cephalo has those type of hips. Jim Jensen in motion, 2nd down, long for the Dolphins. A deflected pass up in the air, grabbing there. Johnson, he makes the interception. Richard Johnson comes up with the football. William Fuller batted it down or up into the air, and Marino goes to the sideline with his 8th interception of the season.
Well, that other conversation we had with Jerry Glanville, he said to us, the one thing we've worked on all week is getting to tipped footballs. We'll get into Marino's face. We might not sack him, but he throws a lot of balls that are going to be tipped. There you see it there. And there's that tip drill that football players work on their whole lives. Glanville's got to be happy. That was his exact call. We get a tip ball, we've got to come down with the interception.
So now we look at Johnson, who comes up with the interception on the Houston sideline.
Clayton coming across the middle. The ball is thrown high, and he pays for it. Now, that is, if you're thinking that's a penalty, it is not. The ball is past the receiver. The defensive back has every right to hit him.
Moon is back and going upstairs on first down and going big on first down, and that could be picked off, and 3 Dolphins bump into each other. Lewis Oliver had the best crack at it, but Langford came over there and bumped into his own man. They were trying to get the ball to Drew Hill, and Oliver, who has been hobbled with an ankle injury since the start of the season, is back down on the carpet here at the Astrodome.
A bit of a surprise. This will come back to haunt the Dolphins. We mentioned earlier the Oilers come up with the interception when they have the opportunity. Here, you get a chance right at the beginning of it. You can't get any better coverage than that. The Dolphins have got to come up with the interception when they get the chance at it.
So Lewis Oliver remains down on the Astrodome turf. And we'll be back with more action. No score here from the Astrodome.
25, Lewis Oliver going up for the interception. He was injured. Paul Langford, 44, runs into him. Now, his leg seems to come down a bit awkward. It was Langford who ran into him, obviously not on purpose. But right now, Lewis Oliver is on the sideline. Another look at it. Langford coming from his left cornerback spot right across the left leg of Oliver is what is twisted underneath. And he's on the sideline being attended by the medical staff of the Dolphins now.
And Lifford Hobley checks into the defensive secondary, replacing Oliver. Bob Morosco, the tight end, in motion for the Oilers. They dump it out of the backfield. It's caught by Pinkett. Then he has to regather it in as he dropped it. And they rule him down right there and keep the clock going. Over on the tackle, Dave Aarons, the left inside linebacker. Alan Pinkett out of Notre Dame, who had a fine ball game last week. And Tom Olivadati, the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, says that he is a very tough man to defend.
He said to us yesterday, I asked, what difference will it be that Mike Rozier's not in the lineup? He said, you know, I might rather Rozier on the field and Pickett on the sideline because he does so many things well. Runs well with the ball, and he's got tremendous quickness. He also blocks well and can catch the ball coming out of the backfield.
Now, I think what they're going to check out here is whether or not Pickett caught the ball or if it's an incompleted pass. They are right now setting up for 3rd down and 11. There's Olivadati, who has been so close to putting in 3 winning defensive schemes this year. He had Buffalo pinned down, and then in the late stages, and of course in the last play of the game they lost, he had the Jets pinned down 30-19 in the 4th quarter and lost that game. And yet they have 15 sacks on the season.
Well, he told us yesterday, and I think he's exactly right, as we watch films of this team, the sacks are misleading because all but 3 of those sacks were coverage sacks. Defensive linemen got there because of great coverage in the secondary. So if you want to blame the Dolphins secondary for giving up a lot of yardage, remember they're doing a good job in the sense that many sacks are coming about because they're staying with the receivers.
So it is 3rd down and 11 as Warren Moon brings them out. And they're in their red gun. 4 wide receivers. Alonzo Highsmith is the only back in the backfield. Drew Hill comes in motion, so you have 3 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. Moon up top. Duncan's got it. Duncan had a 1st down and then made a cut back and lost the 1st down as Rodney Thomas is over there to bring him down. He had it, Jimmy, and then cut back towards the middle of the field.
The worst mistake a receiver can make in football, Duncan just made it. Got enough yardage for the 1st down, wide open. The Dolphins dropped 2 deeply back in the zone. He's got the 1st down, but watch him. Tries to gain some extra yards. Hey, you got the 1st down, you keep the darn thing. Going back against the grain right there is when he lost the 1st down.
Troy Stratford is back deep, ready to receive the punt of Greg Montgomery, who pulled a hamstring last week when on a blocked field goal, he was the holder. Mark Kelso took it in for a touchdown. Miami might have jumped off. Let's see what happens. Flags fly here on 4th down at short yardage. If they did jump off, Houston would get the 1st down. Jerry Glanville hopes for that kind of call as we check it out with our referee, Dave Hamer. Eric Fairs gets nailed for the false start, so now it becomes 4th down and 7 yards to go. And Montgomery will move back inside his 10-yard line, and Stratford will inch up just a little bit more. There's Montgomery, but anyway, on the chase of Kelso into the end zone, he pulled a hamstring muscle and only started punting late in the practice week. In fact, Bruce Matthews was going to have to punt for Houston if Montgomery wasn't ready to go. Boy, skyrockets this one into the ceiling. Stratford fumbles the ball, gets it back, and turns it into a pretty good run back out over the 20-yard line because it easily could have been Houston ball down at the 15-yard line. Montgomery goes to the sideline. Everybody should punt that well with a sore hamstring. It will be Miami's ball when we come back. No score here from the Astrodome.
Have you driven a ball?
Now, during quarter, Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cephalo from the Astrodome. A 63-yard punt by Greg Montgomery, the longest of his career, and Marino opens up and throws incomplete. Mark Clayton was the intended pass receiver as Marino looks off to the sideline there, a little bit disgusted. Let's check in on Sunday number 4 around the NFL. Here are the scores.
Well, there they are. There they come.
All right, that big one in Cleveland, no score. Cleveland's lost 10 in a row to the Broncos. And New Orleans out over Washington 7-3. No score. Early returns right now, Jim. We're not ready to step out and make a prediction. New England at Buffalo. Doug Flutie getting the start for the Patriots in that game. 2nd down, 10. It goes to Stratford. Check it. It goes to Logan. And Logan goes out to the 25-yard line. And he's brought down by Al Smith and John Grimsley. Logan had a good week last week.
Yeah, he really did have a good week. He was a Plan B free agent, came over from Cincinnati, and he played extremely well. Runs well with the football. You see he's got some tough yardage inside. Going against number 54, Al Smith. The Dolphins like to throw the ball on 1st down. Then if they get something out of it, come back with the running game on 2nd. Because they were unsuccessful on 1st down in this series, they got a few yards on 2nd down, but now in an obvious passing situation.
It's 3rd and 7. Jim Jensen is in the backfield along with Dan Marino. They've got 4 wide receivers into the game. Jeff Donaldson coming on a safety blitz. Marino fires, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver, Freddie Banks. over on the coverage, Steve Brown, who had a very rugged last Sunday against Buffalo, and he's off to a good start this week with a nice defense there against Banks.
And the reason Brown got burned a week ago is because they were blitzing. Take a look at it. Donaldson, number 31, right in the right part of your screen. Jensen, a good job picking up the blitz. Marino with plenty of time. But this time, Steve Brown, who was burned twice last week for touchdowns, makes the good defensive play.
Reggie Roby is in for his first punt of the day. Roby averaging 43.5 yards. And back deep, Kenny Johnson. Standing back at his 35-yard line. No score here in the Astrodome. High snap, and Miami had trouble with this last week. Roby takes it into the end zone. He throws it out of the end zone.
That's a smart play by Roby. I mean, he got the safety.
He got the safety right there. And they throw a flag down on the play. Roby scooped the ball up. There's a safety. There is also a flag down. And right now it reads 2-0 Oilers.
Now, the reason Roby did that is because if it rolls around, the Oilers jump on it, it's a touchdown. But he scooped it out of the end zone, and they have to put up with the safety. Roby will take the penalty. It's another bad snap. Kinchin, the center for the Miami Dolphins, had trouble a week ago. He has it again today. Now, Roby's in a no-win situation. He's either going to give up 6 points or 2. Makes the smart play. That is a penalty. He illegally batted the football. But, hey, who cares? Right now, they only get 2 points.
Off the top of his hands, hits at the 5, and watch 23, Richard Johnson, who came up with an interception on the first possession. He pushes on Roby, but Roby flings the ball out of the end zone, and it is 2-0 now. The Oilers on the safety.
Now, that ball was actually catchable on the part of Reggie Roby. He may be a little gun-shy because Kinchin had trouble a week ago. The ball sailed completely over his head. But on the replay, Reggie Roby's got to come down with that football. The snap was not bad enough for him to miss it.
So it's a free kick. Kicking away from his own 20-yard line. And Houston will get the ball in good field position as Kenny Johnson is back deep again. 2-0 Oilers, 8:17 left to go in the first quarter. On a safety, Miami had 3 huge special teams mistakes last week in the loss to the Jets. And already, about 5 minutes into this game, they had a problem right off the start. We'll be back with more from the Astrodome. That's right, the score is correct, 2-0 Oilers. Free kick, Reggie Roby punting from the 20 because, remember, he committed the penalty, batting the ball out of the end zone. Kenny Johnson takes it from his own 20. Well, that was a heck of a punt, and he brings it out over the 35 to the 36-yard line, and Jim Jensen is in on the tackle. Good special teams player, too. So Warren Moon's offensive line goes like this. One of the best in the NFL, Davis, Munchak, Pennison, Matthews, Steinkuhler, who got hurt last week but is in there this week. Moon, Highsmith, Pinkett in there. The wide receivers, Hill and Gibbons, and a rookie Morosco out of Penn State at tight end, used really as a blocker. When they go into their red gun, this is what happens. Jeffries comes in, and Curtis Duncan going with the 4 wide receivers. 1st and 10 out over the 35-yard line at the 36. Oilers in the lead 2-0. And here comes Lorenzo White. And White turns the corner and goes spilling out into his own bench over the 40 to the 42-yard line where William Judson runs him out.
White getting a lot of work because of the injury to Rozier. Jerry Glanville used to call White a bulla back. What that means is that he couldn't block and he couldn't catch the football, but he sure could run with it just like you do in college. And I asked him if he changed the assessment of him. He said, yeah, I'm beginning to. He's starting to block a little bit, starting to come out of the backfield a little bit as well.
Ball is out over the 40-yard line at the 43. 2nd down at 4. As the former bulla back ended up with 6 on that play. Moon has Highsmith and White. And White carries for a Houston first down as he started left and darted up the middle and goes out to the 48-yard line. Greg Clark in on the tackle for the Dolphins.
And Alonzo Highsmith with another spectacular block. When I said earlier he may be the best that's ever played this game as far as a blocking fullback is concerned, that might not be much of an overstatement because Alonzo Highsmith has got great leverage. Take a look at him. Left part of your screen is going to come into it. Watch what he does to Hugh Green. Turns him right away. Now, that's a man who used to be a linebacker in his younger days of playing. He knows what it's like to be on the other side of the ball, and he is a good blocking back.
3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 on the top, and they go to the top, and Jeffries makes the catch and goes down to the Miami 40-yard line. Judson is in on the tackle along with Hugh Green. So there goes Hayward Jeffries, and he'll go off to the sideline. So on first down, they did go with their red gun offense, and they pick up another bundle of yardage.
What they're doing is spreading the Miami Dolphin defense. When they go into that red gun, as they call it, that all that means is there's 4 wide receivers in the game. They spread the entire defense. You see the amount of room between Green, number 55, and number 45, Judson? That's exactly what Jeffries and the Houston Oilers offense wants to do.
1st and 10, Houston. Ball is at the Miami 40-yard line. 6:40 left, first quarter. Highsmith and White in the backfield. They go back to Lorenzo White. Still going is White. Good run. Down to the 31. Paul Langford gets him by the ankles and brings him down, but Lorenzo White bumped heads with a couple of Dolphins before he finally went down.
Take a look at it from the sideline level. Again, it's Highsmith leading up through. That gives a big enough hole, but let's talk about this Bulla back. He breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, and it's finally taken down by 2 people in the secondary.
Incidentally, Louis Oliver is back in the Miami secondary as Lorenzo White, 19 yards rushing so far. Lining up deep in that backfield. 2nd down and 1. He picked up 9 on that last play. There's Highsmith going in motion and lining up on the other side of Moon now. 2nd and 1. Back it goes. White, and why not? He's got the hot hand right now, and he's inside the Miami 25-yard line. Rick Graff makes the tackle, and another first down for the Oilers.
The middle of that Dolphin defense has been the problem spot. You know the story about John Offerdahl, the all-pro linebacker. He's still not in there. Number 60, Greg Clark, is, and so is number 50, Dave Aarons. And there's a wide hole in between because that big Oiler offensive line caves the Dolphin defense, and that gives White a big enough room to run through.
Graff, the linebacker out of Wisconsin. Jay Pennison, the center, made a seal block there that really allowed the avenue to open up for Lorenzo White. 5:09 left in the first quarter. Drew Hill in motion. It's 1st and 10. Just inside the Miami 25. Moon. Highsmith down to the 20-yard line. So first they go with White, then they come at you with Highsmith. They are rich in talent in that offensive backfield. And remember, Rozier's out.
Well, the problem with Highsmith is that he blocks so well that sometimes you need him to block and you don't have him the football. But let me tell you, the guy is a good enough running back to play in this league for a long, long, long time. He also catches the ball well out of the backfield, had 4 catches a week ago against Buffalo.
Don Shula knows an awful lot about Highsmith, right? Went to high school with Mike Shula.
Right, they played together on the same team, Columbus High School. In fact, Dorothy Shula used to cook pregame meal for both of the guys when they'd come over. Don Shula is well acquainted with Alonzo Highsmith.
4:20 to go in the quarter. 2nd down at 5. Moon in trouble, and there's the sack. Number 16 on the season for the Dolphin defense, and it might be another one of those coverage sacks as Hugh Green puts him down.
It seemed to be. Moon had nowhere to go with the football. The Dolphins usually send Hugh Green. He is an outside linebacker, but he usually comes along with the front. Take a look at it. Moon with lots and lots and lots of time, nowhere to throw the football, and he actually falls over Hugh Green, who just kind of fell into a sack. You're right, it is another coverage sack for the Miami Dolphins secondary. They're playing well.
So the Dolphins now have the Oilers in 3rd down and 11, and we should see the 4 wide receivers, and we do. And the only back in the backfield is Highsmith. That's Ernest Givens going in motion. Moon unloads. Jeffries has it, but he doesn't have the first down. He's short of the first down at the 19-yard line. Rodney Thomas is over there on the coverage along with Dave Aarons. Pretty good defensive stand by the Dolphins. And you know, the funny thing is, the Oilers were pounding away with the running game, then decided to go up top. Suddenly, they're settling for 3.
And it's a wonder why they decide to do that. If you're going against Dan Marino and you're Jerry Glanville, you got to say, let's keep this guy on the sideline. Let's run the football. They're missing Mark Brown, their inside linebacker, as well as John Offerdahl. He's got a mismatch with Highsmith and that offensive line in front of him. You got to wonder why he decided to throw at the latter part of that drive.
Zendejas out of the hold of Greg Montgomery. Zendejas 4 for 9 on the season. Fumble on the hold. Zendejas with the Garo Yepremian pass. And the ball down at the 15-yard line. Oh, boy. Yes, sirree. Zendejas never got a chance to boot it. We have an injured player down on the field, an injured Dolphin, because watch what happens to Montgomery.
It's a good snap. Montgomery should have gotten that football down, but I like your characterization. I wonder if Zendejas can make a tie now and again. A bad throw downfield, but he really had no other choice in the situation.
All right, Louis Oliver ends up with the interception on the Zendejas pass.
Take a look at the snap. Now, Montgomery, the punter, is the holder. It was a very good snap. Matthews is the snapper. And that should have been handled. Zendejas in trouble. And if he throws it downfield and it is intercepted, it was a good play by him because he gets a couple yards out of the deal.
There's the pass. Bye-bye. We'll be back.
Line, dial 1-900-226-8000 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's Ernest Gibson over on the Dolphin bench. He had to be carried off his right leg, injured. He's a Plan B free agent over from the New England Patriots, injured on that pileup after the Zendejas pass was intercepted by the rookie Louis Oliver. So Miami dodges a big bullet. They don't give up any points on that play, and it's 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Dan Marino hasn't been able to make it go so far and has been intercepted once. And another pass batted down. Same side of the line, too. This time it could have been Richard Byrd, 71, and I think it is by the sign of that big toothy grin through that face mask.
I'll tell you what happened on that play. Marino came in and changed the play at the line of scrimmage. Look at the line on the right hand of your screen. Ronnie Lee, number 72, does not get into him. Richard Byrd gets his hands up in the air. What the linemen are taught there, the offensive linemen, are to go into the knees of the defensive lineman, so he got to get his hands down. That didn't happen here. You see Byrd reaching up, batting the ball away.
Marino 2 for 7, 31 yards with 1 intercepted. And Richard Byrd over on the sideline now. 2nd down at 10. 2:46 left to go. 2-0 Oilers on a safety. Jensen in motion. Marino unloads it. Oh, catch on the sideline. Is he inbounds or out? Clayton goes right tight, walking right on the sideline. He's out of bounds. Incompleted pass.
Take another look at it. Marino getting a bit of pressure. He was waiting to try and see if Clayton was going to open up on the sideline. But good coverage by the Oilers. They're staying back in that zone. We mentioned the early part of the day. You see the zone? Watch all the Oilers. They're just covering an area. And Marino had absolutely no room to try and stick that football in.
Well, he didn't get any feet down. 6 defensive backs in the lineup now for the Oilers. Jim Jensen back in that backfield. Oilers jumped off, then got back. They run a draw play, and Jensen carries out close to a 1st down, too, as he goes out near the 25-yard line. Flag down on the play as the Oilers were jumping offside, and that's what happened. That's the call. Now you've got a situation, could be 3rd and 5, or they'll have to check and see if he indeed has the 1st down.
Offside, left defensive end, 1st down.
So they declined the penalty as Fuller was offside, and it's a 1st down for the Dolphins out near their own 25-yard line. That was a great call by Marino to quickly shovel it off to Jensen. 2:23 left to go. 1st quarter. Clayton comes in motion. Sammy Smith, and a good carry out near the 29-yard line. Smith will pick up 5 yards. Ray Childress in on the tackle. Let's go around the NFL now on Sunday number 4. Here are the scores. Cleveland also has a safety, and it's 2-0. Kansas City up by a field goal over the Bengals. Remember, Kansas City beat them at Arrowhead last year, and New Orleans holding on 7-3. And Detroit leads, so do the Jets, and Tampa Bay, Minnesota scoreless. All right, we saw those scores earlier. 2nd down at 5. They give off the right side, goes to Mark Logan. Oilers saying that Logan coughed up the football. Richard Byrd and Al Smith make the tackle on Mark Logan. Logan was with the Bengals last year. He was a Plan B free agent, picked up by the Dolphins, and has been a very valuable pickup for them.
He might have made the roster because of the holdout of Sammy Smith initially, but he has earned the spot on the team because he's blocked well, returns kickoffs well, and Don Shula really likes Mark Logan these days.
3rd down and 4. 4 wide receivers. Jensen and Marino figuring out who Jensen has to block. Here come the Oilers. But Marino has a lot of time, and Duper cannot hang on at the 40-yard line. Chris Dishman out of Purdue was in on the coverage, and so far it's been a frustrating day for Dan Marino throwing the ball.
Well, he was off target there. Duper was pretty well open. He had beaten Dishman across on that quick little slant pattern. Take a look at it. Duper, bottom part of your screen, makes the good move inside, and Marino is well off target. If he throws it out in front, Duper gets the first down. Also a headache because Donaldson was up to try and make the play.
All right, pay attention, everybody, now. It's been a real adventure when Miami has punted. Remember, it went over Roby's head the last time. He gets this one off, though. Johnson calling for a fair catch. And at the 36-yard line, he's got it, and it will be 1st and 10 for Houston at their own 36, leading by a score of 2-0. Kozak and Johnson go over to the Oiler bench. All right, the American League Championship Series, and congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays, who clinched yesterday, beating out Baltimore. Game 1 against the Athletics coming up on Tuesday at 8 o'clock right here on NBC. All right, Game 2 then is coming up on Tuesday. Game number 3 is coming up on Wednesday as the Major League Baseball Championship Series coming up here on NBC starting this week. Ernest Gibbons going in motion. 1st and 10. Houston at the 35-yard line. Here's Lorenzo White. And White goes out close to the 39-yard line and then gets dumped out into the Houston bench. William Judson and Hugh Green take him out. Now the injury on the Dolphins bench, Ernest Gibson, who was carried off the field, has a sprained right knee. Questionable as to whether or not he'll be able to return to the Dolphin lineup. Pickup of 4 on the run by Lorenzo White. It is 2nd down at 6. 4 wide receivers check into the game for the Oilers. Warren Moon trying to get his team going. They lead 2-0 on a safety. A lot of time firing, and Drew Hill makes the catch down at the Miami 43-yard line. J.B. Brown, a 12th round draft choice out of the University of Maryland, is in on the coverage.
The Oilers line 3 wide receivers to the right side of their ball, and they spread that Dolphin defense around as much as possible. Take a look at it, left part of your screen, actually. Now, there are too many receivers over there, not enough defensive backs, and it turns into a one-on-one situation with Hill, the veteran, going against the young J.B. Brown, and that means a victory for Warren Moon.
I have to think that's where Gibson would have been playing. Instead, J.B. Brown has to come in. 17-yard pickup on the play, and that's the end of the first quarter here from the Astrodome. So the Oilers lead in a bizarre start for the first 15 minutes. It's 2-0.
The ultimate driving machine. What a luxury car should be.
Now the Oilers sideline in civilian clothes. Been a rough year for him so far. Lengthy holdout and then surgery this past week on the left knee. He'll be out about 4 weeks.
Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cefalo back at the Astrodome. 2-0 start the second quarter. Houston with it on 1st down. And Alonzo Highsmith goes down to the Miami 40-yard line. Dave Aarons is in on the tackle. Let's look at the first quarter numbers now.
Well, I think one thing's safe. Norm Van Broncklin,
yeah, his record, yeah.
He can rest safely today unless Marino really has to get up and go. It's been a strange half. The Dolphins have been sputtering offensively. The Oilers have made a couple of drives, but they have not been able to stick it into the end zone.
Ball is at the 40-yard line. It will be 2nd down at 7. As Warren Moon brings the Oilers out. And he goes into the 4 wide receiver set once again. With Alonzo Highsmith, the lone back in the backfield. Hugh Green coming up, looking like he's going to blitz. Quick toss. Gibbons, he's got a 1st down as he cuts inside the 35-yard line down to the 32. Paul Langford and Jarvis Williams make the tackle. Gibbons made that head-over-heels catch last week. And what a touchdown running catch it was as he did the complete spin. I guess gymnastics in junior high and high school really helped him out.
That's exactly what he said. He said afterwards, he said, you know, my instincts told me to do that, and I hope they never take me there again, which is a smart move on the part of Ernest Gibbons. Actually, Jerry Glanville called him the toughest receiver in football, and Warren Moon backed that up.
It's a 1st and 10 now. At the Miami 32-yard line, Gibbons in motion. 4 wide receivers, but he stays under center this time, and a big hole for Highsmith down at the Miami 25-yard line. Boy, he was through it in a shot, too. It's amazing that a guy that big can be so quick.
And he also ran over one of the Dolphin linebackers. Take a look at the end of this play. Highsmith gets through a nice block on the left side by Munchak, 63, and Davis, 77. But he runs right over the Dolphin defense.
Gain of 6, second down at 4. Highsmith 15 yards rushing right now as he'll get a breather heading over to the Houston bench. Haven't seen Pinkett too much. Saw him early, but basically they've been going with Highsmith and Lorenzo White. Second down 4. White in the backfield now. See the wide receivers like a conveyor belt, all telling the play, one to another down the sideline. Lorenzo White down inside the 25, down over the 20, down to the 19-yard line, and should be and is another Houston first down. The safeties have to make the tackle. When they're making a lot of tackles, you're in trouble.
Well, if you take a look at this, on the right side of the screen, there are 3 wide receivers. That opens up the entire defense, and Lorenzo White has the huge hole to run through. That's exactly why it's happening. The Dolphin defense is spread all over the field with that so-called red gun offensive formation of Houston.
So they're at the Miami 17 as Lorenzo White lines up in that backfield along with Highsmith. 2-back set. A lot of times they run out of this formation. Warren Moon would like to see them throw out of it a little bit more, but they run this time. And Lorenzo White is dumped for a 2-yard loss back to the 19-yard line as Miami was right there in the presence of Rick Graff and Jarvis Williams.
Rick Graff doing a good job scraping down the line to get to the running back that time. The Dolphin defense, you're right. You wonder why the Oilers aren't going to that spread offense the entire time. Watch Graff, right part of your screen. He bounces off 2 would-be blockers and gets up in on the play as he can. Nice play also by the cornerback coming across.
You know, I'm wondering there, Jimmy, if Soche, number 70, for Miami, might have turned that play to the outside because he made a real dart move at Lorenzo White. Second down at 12. It was a loss of 2. Alan Pinkett checks into the Houston backfield. Look out from behind. Hugh Green, blind side. His second sack of the game. Miami has 17 for the season.
Now, a year ago, the Dolphin defense had 24 sacks for the entire year, 16 games. Right now, they've got 17 through 3 1/4. Blindside, that's a problem with the blocking for the Houston Oilers. That's you never can allow a solid blocking scheme to allow a linebacker to come blindside. Warren Moon is very fortunate, 1, that he wasn't injured, and 2, that they didn't cough up the football.
So Hugh Green has come alive today.
He's been playing as well as ever since he came to Miami. Now, of course, when he was in Tampa Bay, he was an all-pro for years, but he is now finally starting to play up to his potential here in Miami.
Third down, 19 yards to go. Moon sets up. It is caught by Hayward Jeffries down at the 12-yard line. Dave Aarons is over late to make the tackle on the play. They are short of the first down, though, as they had a long way to go. So Jeffries was open over the middle, made the catch, but was quickly brought down by Aarons. Fourth down, and Zendejas will come in as Glanville with the headset off. Obviously upset because they were moving very, very easily on the ground, and then suddenly it just went kaput on them. Zendejas out of the hold of Montgomery, who dropped the hold the last time, a 32-yard field goal attempt. On its way, it's good. 32-yard field goal for Zendejas, his 5th field goal of the season. And the Oilers jump out to a 5-0 lead here from the Astrodome. We'll be right back.
The number 28 for the Oilers. He's had some problems on these kickoff teams. Spotted twice for unsportsmanlike penalties against the Chargers and again last week.
Here comes Mark Logan out over the 10, 20, 23-yard line. And Dishman was right in there on the pack. 10-minute ticker time. On Sunday, number 4, Cleveland leads 7-0 now, second quarter. Kansas City up by 10, and New Orleans holding out of that lead over the Redskins. All second quarter scores. Detroit leading the Steelers. The Jets on top, so are the Vikings. New England has a field goal, but Buffalo's on top in that game, and Atlanta leads 7-3 over Green Bay. Miami's had the ball 3 times, 6 plays and an interception, 3 plays and a safety, 6 plays and a punt. And they trail 5-0 with 9.5 to go in the first half. Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cefalo from the Astrodome. Little reverse. Sammy Smith. Little fumble. Smith can't get it back. Who's got it? Deshaun Jones? Yes, it's Oiler ball.
Sammy Smith seems to be running a bit gingerly. He's got that ankle. He has not had a lot of contact. Remember the long holdout at the beginning of the season. Let's see who knocks it out. It's actually the linebacker from the inside. That's Al Smith, number 54. And
Sean Jones up with it.
Number 96, Sean Jones coming up with it. Take a look at it from the inside. He looked like he had a good enough hole coming up. 61, that's Foster to the inside, but Smith gets his hand on the football, and that's what causes Smith to cough it up.
Oh, Don Shula's having a painful day in the House of Pain so far. Can't get anything rolling. Oilers get the ball in great field position, and here comes Highsmith. And look at him read the hole down to the 21 of Miami. Louis Oliver on the tackle along with Hugh Green.
The Oilers and Dolphins are playing a little bit of a cat and mouse game here. The Oilers that time come out in that spread offense on the very first down. And what they're saying is that, look, you go out and cover those people, now we'll run the ball down your throat. Now, if you don't go cover, we're going to throw the football on first down. That's the game being played now between Glanville and Shula.
So to second down and 1. 9 yards on the run, and they go to the red gun formation with 4 wide receivers and Lorenzo White in the backfield. Gibbons coming in motion. Ball close to the Miami 20. White hit quickly. He might have gotten the first down to the 20-yard line, but Miami closed in. Jeff Cross was there, along with Dave Aarons and Greg Clark. No gain, and so it's 3rd down and 1.
Take another look at it. This time, the Oilers decide to run toward those 3 wide receivers. And a nice play by Grant coming up to make the initial hit.
All right, 3rd down at short yardage now. They have to get to the 20 or even a little bit on the side of the 19.5-yard line. On 3rd down conversions now, the Oilers are 0 for 3. A couple of tight ends in the lineup, Morosco and Burlhouse. Time is called here. The Oilers came up with a 2-back set, and Warren Moon calls timeout, and he'll go to the sideline and check things out. 7:54 left to go here in the first half. Moon to a discussion, leading by a score of 5-0.
Rockies, the silver bullet won't slow you down. It's the right beer now. And by Levi's 505 and 506 jeans.
Welcome back to the Astrodome. 7:54 left to go. First half, 5-0. Oilers in the lead. I'm Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cefalo. Big play for the Oilers now. 3rd down, less than 1. Highsmith and White make up the backfield. Lorenzo White's got the first down as he peels off the near side and gets inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. Louis Oliver been making a lot of tackles on this game.
The big tip-off for the Houston Oilers offense when they're in short yardage and goal line is where is Alonzo Highsmith lined up. We'll get to Lorenzo Hampton in just a moment. Where is Alonzo Highsmith lined up? If he's on the left side of the ball, then they're running that way because they want him as the lead blocker. That's exactly what happened. The Dolphins know it's coming, but they just can't stop it.
Highsmith setting up behind Warren Moon. 1st and 10 now at the 18-yard line. Drew Hill in motion. And they give it to Highsmith. Outside, then cuts inside and gets down near the 11-yard line, too. Highsmith is brought down by Dave Aarons and Paul Langford.
Running over that right side of the offensive line of the Oilers, 74 Bruce Matthews, 70 Dean Steinkuhler. Now, what a hole this is to run through. There's not much there, it doesn't seem to be, but it's Highsmith who finds a little crack and gets up for enough yardage to put the Oilers in good space in this 2nd down situation.
He got 6 yards. Well, that's nice to be getting 6 yards on 1st down. That's where you want to be. It is 2nd down and 4 at the Miami 12-yard line. No touchdown so far in this game. A field goal and a safety have the Oilers on top 5-0. Smith and White again in the backfield. Lorenzo White to the middle, to the 5, maybe the 4-yard line. Jarvis Williams gets him up top. Hugh Green is down on the bottom. And that time they ran left and right across the middle.
The overpowering Houston offensive line, one of the best in football. Take a look at it. It's a block by 63, Munchak and Pennis, and 52 in the middle. They're moving them back out of the middle. Remember we said earlier, John Offerdahl not in camp because of the holdout situation. Mark Brown, the other middle linebacker of the Dolphins, suspended for loafing this week in practice. So Don Shula has his handfuls with a couple of Plan B free agents trying to stop this big offensive line.
All right, Shula yelling out to his defense, dig in. And they have to against Moon and the Oiler offense. First and goal from the 6. Lorenzo White down to the 2-yard line. As Miami chases the play down, Dave Aarons is over there and Jarvis Williams. Lorenzo White already has up near 50 yards rushing on the day now, as he has carried the ball 11 times. 48 yards on the game rushing for Lorenzo White. Jerry Glanville stooped over, hands on knees, wants to get this one in. Here they come. Second and goal. The ball is at the 3.
Take a look and find out where Highsmith is. It's usually the side they run to.
Highsmith takes it at the 5. Touchdown! Like an old Bula Bula college play, though, didn't it? Pitch out to the tailback.
Well, you know, it was confusing. Highsmith was right in the middle, directly behind Warren Moon. That's what you got to worry about. They like to give him the ball from that position. He falls in for the first down for the touchdown as well.
Jimmy, when he takes the pitch, he's at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, he sure is. Then he just gets it turned upfield. That whole offensive line pushing the Dolphins alongside. Pennis is number 63 with a good block. And Highsmith's into the end zone.
Boy, they have found a good backfield today in Highsmith and Lorenzo White. Zendejas for the point after. Right down the middle. And after the Miami Sammy Smith fumble, the Houston Oilers take that right back down and score and lead by a count of 12-0 with 4:50 to go. Here and Alonzo Highsmith, and Alonzo saying, here, you need this drink more than I do. Mr. Touchdown, Highsmith. He has scored a touchdown in every one of Houston's games so far. Logan takes the kickoff for the Dolphins in the end zone. He juggled it. And Miami looks very, very tight handling the football. The numbers on the Oilers scoring drive go like this. As Marino back out onto the field, 7 plays that went 29 yards, 4.5 minutes. Highsmith and White did the bulk of the work on the drive, and Highsmith goes in.
And the Oilers accomplished a couple of things on that drive. Yeah, they score, but they also keep Marino off the field for 4.5 minutes, going just 29 yards.
Doesn't Miami look like they're just having trouble holding on to the football? They're not in sync yet.
They seem to be tight in every respect, from Marino to the running back to everyone concerned.
Out of the backfield, see what I mean? Right there. All right, let's go to New York. Here's Bob Costas with an NFL update.
On the pregame show, we told you Boomer Esiason wouldn't start today, and he didn't. But they had to press him into service. He's just thrown a 40-yard touchdown pass to Tim McGee. He's in there because his own backup, Turk Schonert, injured his ankle early in the first quarter on this play. So Esiason, on a gimpy ankle of his own, comes limping into the game. At Arrowhead, the Bengals trail the Chiefs 10-7 in the second.
12-0 here. Houston in the lead over Miami. 4:40 left to go. Troy Stratford couldn't hang on to the football on that last play. Mark Clayton comes down the line in motion. Here comes Sammy Smith. He fumbled the last time he carried the football, but he holds on this time. And boy, look at the Oilers flood to the ball there with those heavy hits. Kenny Johnson, or Robert Johnson rather, in on the tackle.
And that's a good move by Shula and the Dolphins, Marino, and everybody concerned. Smith fumbles the football just the last time he's in the football game. They come right back to him. Because as a rookie, a first-round choice, he's going to be around for a long time. You can't start putting doubts in his mind. He can hang on to the football. That's what you've got to teach him, that you're going to get bumped around in the NFL. They just don't tackle you in this league. They grab for the football as well.
3rd down and long. 3rd down 8. Sammy Smith's numbers on the day. 4 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. That's Jensen. Marino in trouble. Gets out of trouble by going to Duper, but I don't know if he got the first down. He had it, and he was up close, and then Steve Brown and Bubba McDowell and all of the other Oilers, Johnson and Dishman, all four of them converged to pull him back, and they didn't get the first down. They'll punt.
Once again, the Oilers not coming with the all-out blitz. They know against Marino it usually doesn't do any good. The two receivers down the bottom. Watch the good coverage. Everybody concerned. Nobody's open. Duper is running his own kind of a Magellan route. He took the long way around to catch that football.
Okay. That's the best defense against Miami right there. Marino on the sideline. Roby will punt. Kenny Johnson back deep. Fair catch. And at the 31-32 yard line, that's where Houston will start. 10-minute ticker time. Roby to the sideline. This is the fourth Sunday in the NFL. Here it is. Browns lead 7-3. Kozar to Slaughter to touchdown pass. Kansas City up by a field goal. And New Orleans has added to their lead. And the other games around the league, the Jets by 7 and Minnesota by 10 now over Tampa Bay. Buffalo adding to their lead over the Patriots, who are truly struggling. And Atlanta leading over Green Bay 7-3 in the second quarter.
This AFC East, everyone is 1-2 with the exception of the Buffalo Bills. They seem poised to go 3-1 after today.
We're 12-0 Oilers. They just scored on their last possession as Alonzo Highsmith went in from 3 yards out. Now they have the ball back with 2:57 left to go in the half, and Moon firing and Ernest Gibbons catching. Out over the 40-yard line, out to the 44 of Houston, and that will be a first down. Well, they make it look very simple. Now they are not going to huddle. They are going to get right up to the line of scrimmage.
The reason for this, the Oilers call a lot of their plays at the line of scrimmage. They're in that red gun formation with 4 wide receivers. They want to keep the 5 defensive backs of the Dolphins off the field.
So Moon out of the shotgun, fires near side, and that's caught by Drew Hill. And he's out of bounds into the Miami bench at the 47-yard line. They're about a yard shy of a first down. Rodney Thomas on the coverage as Hill crossed over and made the grab. This was a disaster at the end of the first half last week, so you know that the Oilers want to get it in for some points. They not only didn't get any points right at the end of the half last week, but Mark Kelso ended up with that blocked field goal and took it in for a touchdown. Second down and 1. 2:24 left in the half. 4 wide receiver split. They'll end up with 3 off the top of your screen now as Drew Hill goes over there. Gibbons relays the play. Oh, it's an option play, and the quarterback keeps it. And Moon gets the first down, too, as he gets up inside the Miami 45 near the 44. So a little belly option right there.
Well, they run it a lot with Warren Moon. Eric Kummerow, number 90, the linebacker or defensive end for the Dolphins, is assigned to do nothing but go straight at Warren Moon. There you see Kummerow coming down the line. Grab it from the backside, but not before Moon picks up the first down. That's a dangerous play. You've got a $1 million quarterback, the guy who's been to the Pro Bowl, running around and running that option. I keep trying to figure out why the Oilers continue to run the option with Warren Moon.
Now, Moon has called a timeout. That's the second that they have used. They'll get another timeout at the 2-minute warning. Next Sunday, join us for week number 5 of the season, beginning at 12:30 Eastern. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, NFL Live, and regional coverage, highlighted by some good matchup. The Browns with Bernie Kosar. They take on these Dolphins in Miami. So it's Kosar against Marino. Some will see the battle between the Oilers and Doug Flutie and the New England Patriots, while others will see the Bills, Kelly leading Buffalo into the Hoosier Dome to battle Eric Dickerson. Now at halftime, Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson with all the scores and highlights from Sunday number 4, plus the Insiders Extra with Bobby Beathard and Ralph Wiley. They had a little bit more to say from the pregame show. Now they're going to do it at halftime, too. They're loading up.
They are loading up.
They're going even more inside. First and 10. Ball is at the 45-yard line. Drew Hill in motion. Near side rollout. They get a little screen set up. Here comes Highsmith. Oh, what a beautiful play by the Oilers down inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line with a beautifully disguised screen pass. 2-minute warning here in the first half. 2 minutes to go. Moon to the sideline, and the Oilers in control, leading by a count of 12-0 here in the Dome.
Your screen, all of the linemen, Davis 77, Munchak 63, Pennison 52. They open up the big hole, and Highsmith just lowers his shoulder and gets even more yardage out of it. A well-executed play by Warren Moon and those 3 offensive linemen. They first showed pass, let Moon set up, and then dumped it off to Highsmith in the flat.
Moon has connected on his last 10 in a row. That last play covered 22 yards. First and 10 now. 2 minutes to go in the half. 12-0 Houston. As Drew Hill heads on the line in motion. Moon rolls to that side. Oh, Ernest Givens almost made the one-handed grab over the right shoulder, but he can't hang on. Second down.
Because of the injury a week ago, you'll remember that Ernest Givens made that spectacular catch. Look at him, right part of your screen. He didn't practice until Thursday of this past week. Moon a little behind him. You have to wonder if both of their timing isn't just a little bit off, because Givens had to spend most of the week on the sidelines with that injury.
Miami's only had the ball here in the first half for 9:05, which puts Houston now over 21 minutes. 4 wide receivers. Highsmith in the backfield. Moon with plenty of time. Flag is down at the 15-yard line, and so is Drew Hill after making the catch. Lifford Hopley is on the tackle along with Rodney Thomas. So we'll check out the flag situation. And it's against Miami. Our referee, Dale Hamer. Boy, long half, huh? Not a happy man in the locker room?
It has been for Don Shula. No, he's very businesslike in the locker room. He doesn't get extremely emotional during halftime of football games, which might surprise some because, of course, Don Shula can be a fiery individual on the sideline. But he is very professional, very businesslike once he steps into a locker room.
All right, Dale Hamer, give us the word.
Illegal hands. Number 36 in the defense. Jam to the head. First down.
Well, 36 on the defense would be Tom Brown, so I think they have the wrong number there, unless the fullback has shifted over to the other side of the ball, and we haven't seen him all day, so I think they have the wrong ID there. But the illegal use to the hands puts the ball now down at the 17-yard line with 1:51 left. You don't even think today he might go in there and be a little bit less businesslike?
He usually reserves it. It depends also. I mean, if the Dolphins can hold Houston here to just a field goal and go in with a semblance of a chance in the second half, it's a different story. If you go in and you're down 19-0, then it's going to be a whole different halftime for the Miami Dolphin player.
First down from the 17 of Miami. Houston knocking on the door with 1:51 left to go here in the first half. They have 1 timeout left. And Highsmith. Oh, look at that move. He got away from 2 tacklers and gets down inside the 10-yard line. Lewis Oliver brings him down, but he got away from Sauché on the outside and then danced back inside and turned it into a big play.
I think it's about time for people to start thinking about Alonzo Highsmith as an all-pro. Right now, take a look at it. There's nothing in front of him. I mean, there's no hole for him, but he finds one. As big a man as he is, a big blocking fullback, he's got the swivel hips to get it done. Let's take a look at Sauché, number 70 in the middle of it. Well, apparently not. Have to come back. Play is ready to start.
Second down and 1. Moon to Drew Hill, and they'll have the first down as he is knocked out at the 5-yard line. Let's go back 1 play later now.
Okay, Sauché, number 70 defensively. He's going against number 70, Steinkuhler, and Steinkuhler just manhandles Sauché. Pushes him out of the play, although Sauché with a nice spin move. Just enough time by Steinkuhler to give Highsmith the ability to get through. Hey, every defensive lineman says I'm held. And you know why he wasn't held? Because they didn't throw a flag. That's the bottom line. Did they throw the flag or didn't they?
No, they didn't. Sauché, an ex-Oiler. So actually on that play, Jarvis Williams really missed the tackle. And now it's first and goal at the 6. Alan Pinka checks into the backfield now. He's the lone back. Yeah, he's going to keep it? Yes. And Moon is drilled at the 2-yard line by Jarvis Williams. Well, he didn't miss that tackle, and he couldn't afford to, or Moon would have been in. Under a minute now. They have 1 timeout left.
Again, if you're the Oilers, though, you kind of play this as if it's the end of the football game and you need this score, but you got to keep the Dolphins and Marino off the field. Don't give them much time. Again, that's my point. You put Warren Moon, your all-pro quarterback, in the position to get himself thrilled when you run that option, and you have somebody like Highsmith in the backfield. Doesn't make sense.
From the 3-yard line. Throwing. Touchdown. Pinkett. Wide open.
The Oilers setting up the running game. Then he has the little rollout with the 3 wide receivers on the side. They flood the area. See, nobody's back there in the end zone. Those 3 wide receivers just cleared the area out, allowing Pinkett to slip into the flat for the score.
Well, Alan Pinkett hasn't played much today, but he gets a touchdown. Zendejas and Montgomery. Montgomery holding. Extra point is good. And it's 19-0. Houston in the lead with 31 seconds left. Well, what has Houston done to Marino today to really shut him down here in the first 2 quarters?
Well, they've dropped back and they've played zone. They're not going to give him any man-to-mans, and that is the smart thing Jerry Glanville is doing today. He's changed a little bit. Marino has been very, very successful against Glanville in the past. 60% completion, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, more than 800 yards. Today, Glanville changed up on him.
Jarvis Williams on his way out for the Dolphins. Well, you notice Houston going for that football, trying to rip it out. And Williams carries out close to the 25-yard line. 27 seconds left to go here in the first half. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and highlights scores at halftime, plus the Insiders Extra. Bobby Beathard and Ralph Wiley. 27 seconds left here. 19-0. Houston in the lead. A safety, a field goal, and 2 touchdowns. Let's see what Marino does. Finally got pretty good field position out at the 25-yard line. Not much on that ball as it ends up short. Chris Dishman was over there in the coverage of Duper out near the 40-yard line. But the ball ended up bouncing down at about the 38.
Well, Marino seems to be having an off day. Take a look at the middle of your screen. Number 31 is Donaldson. He's the safety coming out, trying to cover Jensen out of the backfield, but it is the middle of that defensive line for Houston. 79, Ray Childress doing a job getting close to Marino. Forced him to throw a little bit early.
Down to 22 seconds, and it's second down, and a completion. Jim Jensen makes the catch out over the 30, near the 34. And they'll mark him out near the 35-yard line. That's close to a first down with 16 seconds left to go.
40 seconds timeout. 40 seconds.
And a timeout called for by Miami. A 40-second timeout called for by Miami here late in the half.
And they've decided to not go in and regroup. They want to get some points out of this if they can at all. But again, the Dolphin offense has been stymied completely. Marino not throwing the ball extremely well today.
Well, how about those 2 passes batted down, early in the game? One of them ends up as an interception. Could that flirt a little bit with him?
Well, not really. I mean, he's a pro. He's been around. I've never seen Dan Marino in a huddle or out of it get flustered by anything. He's one of those real strong-willed people. And I don't think that would have affected his game at all.
All right, we're all set to go now for the Baseball League Championship Series. Join NBC Sports for the drama and excitement of all of that. Starting Tuesday night, Game 1 of the American League playoffs. The Toronto Blue Jays go out west to take on the Oakland A's for a battle for the pennant. Game number 1 of the American League Championship Series Tuesday night on NBC. The National League starts on Wednesday. The Cubs and Giants. And it's all right here on NBC. 3rd down and 1, 16 seconds left to go. So Jensen did not get enough for that first down. Marino with a lot of time. Fires, and it is caught. 10 seconds left to go in the half. Dishman on the coverage there as Mark Duper makes the catch. 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They have the first down. And Miami has used another timeout. Ball ball is out over the 40-yard line to close to the 44.
The Dolphins have one timeout remaining. What they'll have to do if they have any chance of scoring as we go into the halftime, they've got to save that one timeout to try to get the field goal team on the field to try and kick a field goal, or simply go for the Hail Mary pass down the sideline. You remember a week ago, they did that and were successful with the Freddie Banks going up and catching the touchdown pass.
There's the rookie, Pete Stoyanovich, out of Indiana, who was the Dolphins kicker. He had a field goal blocked last week that went for a touchdown, too. So that happened a lot last week around the NFL.
Yeah, it was a rough day for Stoyanovich a week ago. He missed a PAT, then got the field goal blocked on him, and the rookie's having his problems at least a week ago he did for Don Shula.
So 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Marino trying to get some kind of points on the board, but at least showing that he can get the team driving anyway, because it's been a rough first half. They're down 19-0. And he fires. He puts it up for grabs, really, down at the 35-yard line as he was going for Duper. Tracy Eaton came up and almost made the interception. Bubba McDowell was on the coverage. And we're down to 4 seconds left in the half.
Now the only opportunity is that Hail Mary pass down the sideline. There's very little chance to do anything else but get one play off. The Dolphins will put 3 wide receivers to one side of the ball, 1 to the other side of the ball, and throw it up for grabs.
Jerry Glanville now knowing that they did it last week against the Jets. It could happen here today, too. Marino has them all lined up now. Right down at the bottom of your screen, there you see the 3 guys right down there, and that 4th wide receiver at the top of your screen will go over. Jensen out of the backfield, too. There's a flag down as the catch is made. Oh, there we go. On the toss-off to Jensen, it looked like a little hook and ladder there. But there is a flag down at the 48-yard line, with the half being over. So Duper made the catch and then tossed it back, and it went to Jensen. Marino pleading his case with the officials.
And that was a design play on the part of the Dolphins. They call it the hook and lateral. Jensen coming down the sideline, streaking down, wasn't good enough to fool the Houston defense.
All right, Dale Hamer will tell us what the call is.
Holding number 35 of the defense. Holding number 35 of the offense. Offside. The defensive nose tackle. The penalties offset. 1 on time down.
All right, 35 on the offense does not exist.
They're having their problems with their numbers. Take a look at it, though. The hook and lateral, it's called for this very reason. Here's the hook. He catches the ball. Now he's going to turn around the lateral to Jim Jensen down the sideline.
Jimmy, take this program down with these guys, will you? There was a big one against the Chargers that worked.
Sure was.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs a number of years ago with the Dolphins.
With another flag down and a drop pass by Duper down at the 25-yard line. But don't leave the field yet, guys. There's another flag down. Let's check this one.
Number 85 of the offense. Tony's declined. The half is over.
Double whammy by Mark Duper. Not only was he offside, but he also dropped the pass downfield.
So there is some regrouping to do by Dan Marino. Jerry Glanville's defense, which got burned here last week, has been playing very well, pitching a shutout here in the first half. NFL Live halftime activities continue after this message and a word from the National Football League. It's 19-0 Oilers here in the Astrodome. Smith fumbled deep in Miami territory. Houston got the ball at about the 30-yard line. Of course, the safety and an interception earlier in the game. So really, Miami's defense has not only been out on the field a lot, but they've been defending against sometimes like a 45-yard field.
No, you're right. You got to give credit to this man, Warren Moon, and also his head coach, Jerry Glanville. Glanville has come into his own as an NFL football coach. Over the past few years, he's taken some heat. He's a fiery guy. He told us yesterday, I said, would you rather, if 2 players are generally of equal talent, a faster player or a tougher player? He said, I'd like them both, but I want my players tough. And he's got them. They go down, they get a lot of unsportsmanlike penalties. But he's got them playing hard-nosed football, and he has them up 19-0 here in the House of Pain.
And Miami will have to kick it away to start the second half, and Leonard Harris is the man in the middle down at the Oiler goal line. Pete Stoyanovich will tee it up and kick it away. We are 19-0. Oilers in the lead. as they have totally shut down a very high potent Miami offense, holding Dan Marino to 56 yards passing. All set to go. Second half ready to be underway here at the Astrodome. To the winner goes the 500 mark of 2-2. The loser goes to 1-3 here this afternoon as they both checked in at 1 win and 2 losses on the season. Leonard Harris from the 5 on his way out. And he gets out over the 20 to the 22-yard line. Rodney Thomas is down there on the chase. And Lifford Hobley was there too for the Miami Dolphins. Marino will have to wait to get his hands on the football as Warren Moon and the Oilers offense has first crack. And Houston's running game has been really superb so far here today with the 2 young running backs, Highsmith and Lorenzo White, getting the bulk of the work.
And with that offensive line, they're really outmanning the Dolphin defense. The Oilers averaged 293 pounds across that front 5. And there's really no reason for them to start throwing the football now. Moon's got his running backs going.
And again, it's Highsmith and White in that offset backfield. And this is Lorenzo White, second-year man out of Michigan State, out to the 25-yard line. Short gain, the 2 inside linebackers, Dave Aarons and Greg Clark, who's very, very short for a linebacker. He's only 6'1", 234 pounds, short and small, but he's a real hustler, and that's why he's won that spot.
Well, he's in there actually because Mark Brown, who was suspended this week, was in the lengthy holdout. Mark Brown signed a contract earlier in the week, came into camp, and according to Don Shula and Tom Olivadotti, he was loafing throughout the practices. They made the decision to suspend him. He will be out as many as 4 weeks.
In fact, Brown said the Dolphins held an economic gun to my head to sign that contract.
Hey, but after you sign a contract, you're in.
Moon sidearms it to Highsmith. There are flags coming from all over the field as he's out to the 27-yard line. Incidentally, chasing on that play with a pretty good rush was Eric Kumaro in on Moon. And we have an ineligible receiver downfield. Highsmith coming back to the huddle. Moon talking with him.
Sometimes an ineligible receiver downfield will happen when the timing is thrown off of the quarterback. Offensive linemen will wait the right amount of beats, then get downfield to try to help a running back. And if the timing is off, they get down too quickly.
Here's Dale Hamer.
Ineligible receivers downfield, number 77 and number 52. Penalties accepted. Repeat second down.
Davis and Pennison both down there.
Let's take a look at them, both on the left side of the screen. Of course, Pennison in the middle is your center, and Davis is downfield, and so is Pennison. The whole group is 3 yards downfield, as well as Mike Munchak, and a good call by the officials. You see 3 flags flying. They're just too far downfield in order to set up that screen.
Miami took the penalty. It's second down at 17 now, back near the 15-yard line. Drew Hill in motion one way and then heads back to the original spot. Moon with a lot of time, and nobody covered Hill, and Rodney Thomas finally brings him down at the 25-yard line. All right, let's check in on the scores right now. 19-0 here. The Oilers in the lead. Cleveland leading by 7. Boy, Kansas City maintaining that lead. That would be a big upset. And New Orleans holding off against Washington. Pittsburgh in the lead. Boy, the Steelers look down and out, and now if they win today, they're 2-2. Jets and Minnesota in the lead in the other games, all in the third quarter. Buffalo laying it on New England, and Atlanta has extended their lead over the Pack. Third down and 7. A 10-yard pickup on that pass play. Moon looking long for Jeffries. Incomplete at the Miami 41-yard line. He had a chance to make the catch. He took it at about waist level. Pretty good coverage on the play there by William Judson.
Really is terrific cover by Judson. Haywood Jeffries, take a look at the bottom part of your screen. He never gets Judson to stop at any point. If you get into a foot race with the defensive back, most wide receivers lose that battle. Defensive backs are generally the fastest on the field, and that's what Jeffries did. He's got to learn to try and get the defensive back to stop just a second and then take off again.
Montgomery punting away here to Troy Stratford. Oh, they came after Montgomery. There hasn't been a flag thrown yet. As Stratford, now there's a flag down. Montgomery got nailed. There wasn't a flag thrown for a long time. As J.B. Brown appears to be the man that ended up going into Montgomery, almost punted the ball. Dale Hamer
Take a look at it. I thought initially he decided that someone was blocked into him, and that's exactly what happened. Right part of your screen, Kenny Johnson, number 22.
The defender was blocked into the kicker. Number 22 of Houston blocked the man into the kicker.
They should have asked you.
Well, it's a clear point of it. If the man is blocked into the kicker, there is no foul. J.B. Brown had no choice but to run into Montgomery because Johnson knocked him into it. Take another look. Left part of your screen, rather. The block, and that can't be J.B. Brown's fault. Good call by the officials.
And good field position now for Miami. Boy, but J.B. Brown, the rookie, when you're a 12th round draft choice, you don't have a lot of a big soapbox to stand on when a foul could be your way. And he got out of that one saying, I knew I got blocked into him. Jimmy Cephalo said, first to 10 Miami at the 46, trying to get on the board. Marino, safe pass. Stratford dances around looking for some extra yardage, but he'll go down at the Houston 46-yard line where Robert Lyles and John Grimsley team up for the tackle.
This is an all-important series for the Dolphins. They started the first part of the game by throwing the interception. The tip ball goes up in the air, and it set the tone for the rest of the way. If Marino's going to be successful here, he's got to get a drive going. It's the only way the Dolphins will get back into this contest.
Second down, 1 yard to go now for a Miami first down. Marino up to 64 yards now.
Changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Now that's a backfield of Sammy Smith and Ron Davenport. Looking. Oh, incomplete for Farrell Edmonds, the tight end, down at the Houston 25-yard line.
And it was the right call by Marino at the line of scrimmage. He changed it. He stood back, set his running backs the way he wanted them. And Edmonds had man-to-man to the corner of the field, but unable to come up with the catch.
So they are now third down and a yard to go.
Take a look at it. Right part of your screen. He changed the play at the line of scrimmage. He gets the blocking he wants. Man-to-man coverage wide open. And Edmonds got a leap for that football. I mean, when your quarterback's having a tough day, that's catchable football. Edmonds has got to come up with it. He's 6'6" tall. Just a little bit of a leap, and the Dolphins would have been deep in territory.
From the Houston 46-yard line, they are 3 for 6 on third down. And they won't get this one as he zipped the ball in there. And Clayton arguing that he was being held onto by Patrick Allen, but to no avail.
Let's take a look at it from inside. Childers, number 79. Ulenek, the rookie, trying to hold him out. Does a pretty good job. Marino with the quick release. It's almost impossible to get him. Coming into this game, 15 games he had gone without being sacked. More than 600 throws. But still, even though he's standing up in the pocket, getting the football off, they're not getting it done downfield.
Roby will punt it away to Johnson. And Kenny Johnson waits for it. Calls for a fair catch at the 10 and out by the 11-yard line. Houston gets the ball back. Miami had the ball in good field position, but could not get the first down. So the Oilers maintain that 19-0 lead.
Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by the Upjohn Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor.
Welcome back to the Astrodome. Tom Olivadotti, defensive coordinator, Miami Dolphins. Defense hasn't played all that badly here this afternoon. They trail 19-0. Miami just hasn't been able to move the ball. Lorenzo White out over the 15-yard line to the 17-yard line before being brought down by Brian Sauché, the nose tackle.
And the key to this game now becomes the inside play. Take a look at it from the Dolphins side of the football. Sauché in the middle, number 70, will eventually make the tackle. Pennison pushes him along the side, and there's great movement. Even though the Oilers only gained about 4 yards on that play, there was great movement by the Oilers against that Dolphin front. They're simply outmanned physically today.
E.J. Jr. has checked into the Miami defense now in an outside linebacker spot. 11:24 left third quarter. Oilers lead 19-0 on 2nd and 6. Again, they go to White. And the Dolphins are there to shut that down. John Boza. That's him, number 97 out of Boston College. He had reconstructive surgery on his knee and has been battling back, and it's good to see him out there.
He was gone for about 10 months. He had to stay out of the season. Take a look at him, number 97, trying to work inside. That's E.J. Jr., number 54, as well, trying to work across. And it's actually a good play by the inside linebacker, number 50, Dave Aarons, who clocks it up.
So it's 3rd and 3 now for the Oilers. And they come out, red gun offense, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top of your screen, 1 down at the bottom, 1 back in the backfield. Caught, beautiful catch, coming across the middle by Drew Hill. As the ball looked like it might have been delivered behind him, and he had to pull it back in, and he's got a first down out near the 38-yard line.
Drew Hill, the 10-year veteran, he gets it done in all ways. Here he's going against the zone. Take a look at it. See the linebackers in the middle? Moon's got to throw it over the linebacker and right in front of the defensive back coming across, J.P. Brown, trying to make the coverage on him. But it's a nice move by Hill and a good throw by Warren Moon.
12-yard pickup and a first down. Hill's been busy today. Gibbons has not. Hill's been getting the ball today.
Well, Gibbons with that injury of a week ago, I think he's probably still a little banged up, taking a bit of a breather.
9:54 to go in the quarter. Moon. There was a slip in the coverage, and there's Gibbons. Down inside the Miami 35 to the 32-yard line. One of the Dolphin defenders just slipped and fell down to the ground, and Gibbons was wide open. It might have been J.B. Brown, the rookie.
Did somebody say breather on that play? Let's take a look at Gibbons coming across the middle. Again, it's the zone. This time, Moon's got to fit it around E.J. Jr. trying to come across and give some help. And Gibbons with a big pickup on the part of the Houston Oilers offense. Take a look at it. Working against Brown, he falls down on the play. Great move by Ernest Gibbons to give Brown the move that made him slip. And then he's got all kinds of running room for the first down.
And 31 yards. Deep in Miami territory, Oilers looking to cash in again. Here's Highsmith. Oh, did you see him drill into Oliver at the 30-yard line? Wow.
And the decision to lower his shoulder was instantaneous. That's what a fullback does. Look at this. You think about instincts, he forgot about that. As soon as he saw the linebacker coming up, he runs Oliver over as much as Oliver can be run over because he's a tough football player as well.
29-yard line. Of course, those two right out of the Florida area as Miami, University of Miami for Highsmith. Louis Oliver coming out of the University of Florida. Ball at the 29-yard line. It is 2nd down, 7. I'll tell you something. He looks like he lost the football as he had it and went down to the ground, and Highsmith comes back up with it. And he had that problem last year. Warren Moon said that he was putting the ball on the ground a little bit last year, but has improved on holding out of the football this year.
Jerry Glanville calls this kind of running no fair dodging. That's exactly what it is. You can't dodge anybody. The key to this is trying to run somebody over. He runs Hobley over, but forgets the football, laying on the ground. Take a look at him. Nice block by Munchak, number 63, and boom. Knocking Hobley back a few yards, but he did the smart thing. Reached in and ripped the football out, and the official is down on the ground as well.
Measurement now to see if Highsmith got the first down, and he's just shy.
That was Rex Stewart, the umpire, who went down in the middle of that fire.
7:56 left to go, 3rd quarter. Cleveland still leading at home over Denver. Kansas City holding on by 3, and the Saints leading. Pittsburgh now at the half, up by a touchdown. The Jets and Minnesota in the lead over Tampa Bay. Wow, Buffalo. Trouble in New England, Jimmy.
Certainly is. Flutie, as Bob Costas told us, had trouble during the first half of that game. He's replacing Eason this afternoon.
A lot of pressure to put Flutie in the starting lineup this week, too. And Raymond Berry finally succumbed and did start him. 7.5 left to go here. 3rd down, short yardage. They got the handoff deep, and Lifford Hobley comes in and makes a good defensive play for Miami. And I believe the Oilers are shy. Crowd yelling for them to go, go, go.
Yeah, but that's a dumb move. If they do that, they kick a field goal. They're up by more than 3 touchdowns. Take a look at a Hobley coming from the safety spot. And a good job of getting to the legs of Alonzo Highsmith, because that's really the only way to bring him down.
Moon to the sideline. Lifford Hobley with the good play, and Jerry Glanville with the decision to kick it.
He's got to kick it. He goes up by 3 touchdowns plus. If you go and mess around and don't make this, and Moreno gets hot again, it's easily to be second-guessed.
40-yard field goal attempt for Zendejas. Plenty of distance. It's good. Zendejas from 40 yards out gives the Oilers a commanding 22-0 lead.
Most men won't even discuss it with their wives, but when they start losing their hair, they talk about it.
The American League Series is Wednesday afternoon. Game 1 of the National League Series, Cubs and Giants, Wednesday night from Wrigley Field. And it's all right here on NBC. Short kickoff, and Brian Kitchen ends up with the ball, an up man, and he brings it out over the 25-yard line to the 26. And that's where the Miami Dolphins will try and get it going. Chris Dishman is in on the tackle.
And Dishman, the gentleman who was called for 2 unsportsmanlike penalties in the last couple of weeks because of his play, intimidating other people on this team. Take a look at him, though. He's one of the best at getting downfield, taking on a blocker. Sheds one, and then gets over to Kitchen to make the tackle. And he does it in a clean manner, which is something that Warren Moon has discussed with him. Mike Holovac, the general manager of the Houston Oilers, has said, hey, you got to calm down. You're costing us 15 yards too often.
All right, let's see if Marino has found the keys now to the Miami offense to get it moving. Jensen in motion. Marino is stepping up to Jensen. Nope, not that time, as Bubba McDowell is over there on the coverage, but Jensen looked like he got the ball a little bit quicker than what was expected.
When we talk about the stat that Marino has not been sacked in 15 games, it can be construed sometimes as a negative stat for this reason. Danny throws the ball so quickly, he sometimes throws backing up. He does not want to take the big hit, so he gets rid of the ball sometimes quicker than the receiver's turn to catch it.
And this is because of the knee injury, right, that he sustained?
He's got a knee problem. It's been bothering him for years. He's healthy enough, but it's in the back of his mind. He throws it maybe just a little too quickly.
He's 1 for 4 here in the second half for 9 yards. He's stepping up and whips it out to Jensen at the 30-yard line, and Jensen pays for making that catch. It's Bubba McDowell, that rookie out of the University of Miami, drills him after the catch is made by Jensen.
And how about McDowell? McDowell is a guy who knows how to block a punt. He blocked 9 punts at the University of Miami. Blocked one last week for the Oilers. As we take a look at the play, he gets $5,000 extra every time he blocks a punt. You talk about an incentive. That's an incentive.
Ball out at the 30-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 5. There's Bubba lining up in that secondary. Marino pointing out, you got him, you get him. Just don't let anybody get me.
It's like drawing it up in the dirt.
Flag is down. Marino to the middle. Incomplete, as both Duper and Clayton were in the same spot out at the 45-yard line. There's Bubba McDowell getting up again. Freddie Banks is over there, but a flag is down. Offside is the call against Houston. That could give Miami the first down. They were at 3rd and 5.
Offside. Number 96 of the defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Sean Jones.
Don Shula sending in 3 tight ends, the short yardage and goal line formation for the Miami Dolphins. And Jerry Glanville will try to counter by bringing some extra beef up front. There they come in.
Sammy Smith has just checked into the Miami offensive huddle. Here they come on 3rd down and really less than 1.
And this is not a bad position to try and give a little play fake and throw the ball downfield. I mean, they're down 22 points. What do you have to lose?
Jensen is in a slot now on the right side and heads in motion. Davenport and Smith. Whoa, boy, did he meet a brick wall with another flag down. Sammy Smith ran right into a pack at the 35-yard line. But he's marked out over the 35. A good spot for Miami, I believe. But first we'll have to check out the flag.
Offside. Number 95 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that takes care of that. Fuller this time.
Now, the guy the Dolphins usually rely on in this situation is Lorenzo Hampton. He's out because of an knee injury. Take a look at it up front. The defensive players just want to submarine the offensive ones to create a stalemate, allowing the linebackers to come in and make the play. That's exactly what happens. Look at the linebacker jumping over the top, making the hit. That's Lyles, number 93, that comes in.
By the time Smith got the ball, and got up near the line of scrimmage, everything was collapsed.
It's exactly what happens. The defensive linemen just try to submarine the people in front of them, create a big stalemate, allow the linebackers to come in and make the tackle.
2 successive offside penalties now for Houston. Gives Miami a first down. 5:45 on the clock running here in the third quarter. It's 22-0 Houston. Oh, that's the kind of day it's been. Stratford has it hit off the shoulder pads, and he can't hang on.
You know what's beginning to happen? This Houston Oilers defense is a tough group of people, and they're starting to tee off on the Dolphins. It's forcing Miami's receivers to turn and look at them, find out where they are. I mean, after getting pounded for 2 quarters, you start turning around to see who's going to hit you. That's exactly what happened to Stratford. He was waiting for the big hit, took his eye off the football.
Second down 10. Clayton and Duper, the wide receivers, 2 backs in there now. Out of the shotgun, helping out Marino. Steps up this time. Incomplete at the 40-yard line as Farrell Edmonds cannot hang on. Jeff Donaldson is over there, defending along with John Brantley for Houston. Donaldson, a big help being back in the lineup. He injured himself in the opening game up in Minnesota. At the time the injury happened, as he twisted his ankle in the carpet up in the Metrodome. Jerry Glanville told us on Friday, he said right over his headphones, Donaldson won't play another game this year.
Yeah, he stuck his foot into the turf and the rest of his body twisted, and he expected him to be out a long time with Donaldson back in after just a couple of weeks.
Not too good, is it? 3 for 8. And it's 3rd and 10. Clayton can't hang on down at the 37-yard line. I don't know if somebody might have gotten a hand on that.
Well, now there are 3 footballs that were thrown by Dan Marino on that drive. 1 to Jim Jensen, 1 to Farrell Edmonds, now 1 to Mark Clayton. They were all dropped completely. There can't be an excuse for this one. He runs the good pattern to get open. See, he gave something to the defensive back to make a move. But look at this. He simply drops the football. After 3 of them on the same drive, when you're on the money and running for your life back there, you can't blame Marino for just throwing his hands up in disgust.
Reggie Roby to punt. Another high snap. He'll have to hurry to get rid of this one. And he got it away. Kenny Johnson at the 24. And Jim Jensen is down there first to make the tackle, helped out by Lifford Hobley. Nice job, Reggie, to get that snap down and punt it away. 22-0 Houston. And sitting there around Gary Stevens, really the offensive coordinator in there, was doing a lot of talking. But that's the big powwow right now. Shula and Marino, and they haven't been able to get anything going. 22-0 Houston lead with 5:18 to go in the quarter, and the Oilers have the ball back. And Alonzo Highsmith makes the catch on the quick toss out of the backfield.
And it continues to surprise me that Houston is throwing the football. They're up 22-0. You would think they want as the little bit of a battle breaks out in the pit. That happens when you're down by 22 points. You get a little frustrated. But it surprises me they're throwing the football at this stage of the game. Keep Marino on the sideline, get those 5-6 yards with their big, strong offensive line, and a couple of good running backs.
Jerry Glanville likes what he sees today. His defense was really taken apart last week by Buffalo.
Whatever he did, he really switched them around. I mean, from 47 points to a shutout here at the Dome.
Against a team that can score. Second down 7. Not a good play. Flag down. Highsmith running into the open. If it were only that easy. But the right side of the offensive line had some problems on the play.
Ball starts. Offensive line. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Take a look at Ernest Givens, number 81 in the slot. See, he gets the play from Moon, turns around and tries to give it to Drew Hill, but that time it looked like he said, what did he say? They're trying to relay the message to each other, and I don't think he got it that time.
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm just going to go. But I'll tell you what's going on. They're doing the wave here at the Astrodome, or at least they were, and Warren Moon has been telling them to quiet down. There's Givens. He's saying pick it up. Second down 12 after the 5-yard mark off. Moon for Givens. He's got it. to the Miami 36-yard line as he actually came back to make the catch.
This is as good a pair of wide receivers in the league as there is. Right part of your screen, Moon looking downfield. He gets man-to-man coverage. It's Givens against Langford. Langford, when the ball was thrown, never looked back to the football. Once Givens turns around to try and look back toward Moon, Langford has got to look back for the football as well. But this time, he allows Givens to turn around and adjust to the football. 42-yard gain for Ernest Givens.
Ball at the 36-yard line now of Miami. Oh, little jump there on that offensive line. Come across and touch. The Dolphins do, and there's the flag. It's on Morosco, the rookie tight end, 87. As he popped over, came back.
Interesting story about the Houston Oilers tight end. Jerry Glanville, as you take a look at it, yeah, but he can reset himself. He's allowed to reset. He's the tight end.
But what's he doing there?
It's a good question. That's exactly what he's saying to Warren. What are we doing here, Warren? Tight end is allowed to reset himself. But the Oilers tight ends.
Encroachment on the defense. The tight end moves. He's allowed to move. 5-yard penalty. First down.
See, he's allowed to reset himself. The people who cannot move are the down linemen once they have gotten to the three-point position. The tight end is perfectly allowed to do that. For Morosco, though, he might as well be a tight end because between the two tight ends on this offense for the Houston Oilers, they've caught one career pass between them, and that was Morosco, who got a touchdown a week ago.
3 minutes to go in the quarter. They end up with 5 yards on the penalties. 1st and 5. Alan Pickett in the backfield now with Tracy Johnson at fullback. They'll go to Pickett. And he's got a first down inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game.
This short passing game that Moon's got going is apparently just as good as a running attack. Take a look at it, right part of your screen. Nobody's around him, does the smart thing. If nobody's going to cover me, I'm just going to sit here and throw me the football. Gets more than enough for the first down.
There's Barry Krause, who was picked up in the offseason, or just before the regular season started, by the Dolphins. He was with Cleveland after signing as a Plan B free agent with the Browns and then getting cut. Hooked on with the Dolphins, though. Moon is 18 for 21. Wow, 229 yards. Highsmith. And he's tackled by T.J. Turner, I believe, got in there first and ripped him down. Let's go to the scoreboard now. Highsmith off the pack. All right, Cleveland has added to their lead. And New Orleans now only leads by 1 over Washington. Steelers leading. The Jets by 3 over the Colts, and Minnesota in control at home against the surprising Tampa Bay team. Buffalo ready to go to 3-1, and Atlanta winning on the road at Green Bay. And here in Houston, we are at 22-0. Oilers, 2nd and 7. Ball at the 19-yard line of Miami. Boom to the end zone. Oh, he couldn't hang on. Curtis Duncan. He was right there in the corner working on J.B. Brown. But Brown held his steps there, and Duncan couldn't pull it in on the fingertip.
He put a good move on against him. Take a look at it. Right part of your screen, the wide receiver there. See, he freezes him right at the line of scrimmage. That's what I meant earlier about not turning it into a foot race. He throws Brown at the line. That is really wide open. Should have caught the football. That's a drop. Curtis Duncan dropped the football. Could have had a touchdown. Good pattern by him, and a nice throw by Warren Moon.
They just showed it on the screen here at the Astrodome, and you heard the big moan.
That's a perfect throw by Warren Moon.
3rd down, 7. Pinkett with a blast inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Jeff Cross makes the tackle for Miami. And they are short again, Jimmy, by a yard.
But it's the same situation as you had earlier. If you kick the field goal, you go up 25-0. That means the Dolphins need 4 touchdowns to catch it. And so Jerry Glanville makes the smart move. He's going to kick it.
And he's explaining his decision on the sideline. Don Shula looking as the clock ticks down. Well, do you think the Miami defense has played that poorly?
They haven't played extremely poorly. You know, when you're going up against a big, strong offensive line like this, though, without two top linebackers,
tough. 32-yard field goal by Zendejas is good. And it's now a 25-0 Houston lead as we close in on the final seconds of the third quarter. Oilers here in the Astrodome. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cempilo, and the Houston kickoff after a 32-yard field goal by Tony Zendejas. And it's Mark Logan touching down in the end zone. Touchback, ball 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And Dan Marino back out. 19 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 19-5, Oilers dominating there. No matter what category you put up, the Oilers are dominating today. Jim Jensen was in the lineup, now coming out. Here he is over, now coming back in. So from the 20, 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. Let's see what Miami chooses to do. They had 3 drops on their last possession. A screen pass to the tight end, Farrell Edmonds. All of that, and he's only going to get about 2 yards. Look at the Oilers swarm to the ball, and that's what Glanville teaches. Donaldson is there. They're all there.
Take a look at Farrell Edmonds, though. What a tight end of future he has. He very well could be the tight end of the 1990s. 6'6", 250-plus pounds, catches the ball extremely well, and is big enough to take on the pounding of the Houston Oilers defense. Back in a minute.
For NBC Scores Plus, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Fourth quarter all set to get underway. Oilers dominating the game, 25-0 over Miami. And the Dolphins come up, 2nd down and 8, deep in their own territory at the 22-yard line. Marino under center this time. He's been going from the shotgun a lot. Gives it off to Troy Stratford. And Stratford cuts back and gets out to the 28-yard line. Here are the numbers now, statistically, on this game after 3 quarters of play.
And it's completely dominated on the right side of the ball. Perhaps the most dominating is time of possession, where the Oilers have a 20-minute lead in that category. And yards passing, when was the last time Dan Marino went into the fourth quarter with less than 100 yards passing against any defense in this league? Warren Moon having the big day for the second week in a row. He played well against Buffalo last week, and today he's over 200 yards again.
And he threw for 330 yards in the game against the Bills last Sunday here. It's 3rd down and 1. And he'll pass for it and connect with Stratford. And Troy Stratford makes the catch and gets the Miami first down. Their 6th of the game out to the 34-yard line as we go around the NFL now and check in at the other ballparks on our 10-minute ticker. Any surprises there, Jimmy? Cincinnati's got to be a surprise.
Yeah, Kansas City and Cincinnati. Boomer Esiason did come into the football game today and play a little bit, but of course has that injury.
Pittsburgh leading over Detroit. The Jets leading the Colts. And Minnesota in the lead. 1st and 10 Miami. Big rush from the outside. Marino dumps it off to Jim Jensen. Jensen takes a wicked hit out over the 40-yard line to the 42. John Grimsley makes the tackle along with Al Smith. Let's finish up on our 10-minute ticker. A couple of other games. In the third quarter at Rich Stadium, Buffalo leading 24-10. New England scored a touchdown there in Atlanta over Green Bay. And here in Houston, it's 25-0 Oilers. 2nd down and 1 after the Jensen 9-yard reception. Again, it looks like he's checking off now. Edmonds splits off the line of scrimmage. Play clock is down to 5. And it looks like they pulled early off the line of scrimmage, too, as Marino throws it long. Galbraith released a little bit early. 62, the right guard on the offensive line. Boy, he is not a happy camper.
Now, he's frustrated today, and who can blame him? One of the problems when you're in the shotgun is
False start.
the problem with the
62 of the
shotgun
offense.
is that
5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
you can't hear your quarterback. Right part of your screen, you saw him kind of leaning back a little bit, Harry Galbraith, number 62. But when you're in that shotgun, you can't hear the quarterback. That's one of the problems with it. You get up or underneath center. You saw Marino moving back to the line of scrimmage when he was checking off for that very reason.
Don Shula cheering out there. Nothing has gone right today. Miami's 4th penalty of the game, and it's now 2nd and 6. .40 left in the game. See him step up now, make sure that everybody does hear him. Oh, look at the Oilers just tee off. Jensen turns into a good play for Miami, one of their better ones of the day, as he got drilled out of bounds by Bubba McDowell and Jeff Donaldson. As he goes inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, we've got a fight back at the 30-yard line. There you see it. Sean Jones is in there, 96 for Houston. But I'll tell you what, as you see Dan Marino walk to the sideline to safety, on that particular play when Marino dropped back, there were just blue jerseys just coming from every direction. It's amazing he got the pass off. Johnny Meads, 91, was really coming from the outside.
Take a look at it inside. On the left part of your screen, you see the people blowing past the Miami Dolphin offensive line. Galbraith, number 62, is pushed down with Childress. See the face mask? That's right, the face mask being ground. Childress reached up, grabbed a hold of the face mask. It looked like Ronnie Lee's, and that's what started the altercation.
I think we're going to get an explanation shortly. Dale Hamer now ready to get his mic all turned on. Here it comes. Some mic trouble. I think that's a battery change, Jimmy. Look at this.
That's exactly what it is.
Size at double A's going in there on the referee's mic.
As soon as we get this battery change, we'll get you an explanation. How would you like to be a wide receiver in the NFL? Take a look at the hit Jensen takes right at the end of this play. Bubba McDowell, number 25. And he lifts him directly off his feet. What a shot by McDowell. And it was legal. Fair play.
Like the old Spot used to say, right? Never get caught with your batteries down. Ball is inside the 45-yard line at the 44, which has been the deepest penetration for Miami in a long, long time in this game. They have not been.
Personal foul. Right. Number 96 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Good.
Sean Jones, the one called for the penalty, number 96 for the Houston Oilers defense.
Tonight on the Magical World of Disney, it's the series premiere of A Brand New Life starring Barbara Eden, followed by the hit comedy Sister Kate, then an all-new My Two Dads, and Elizabeth Taylor and Mark Harmon star in an NBC world premiere movie, Tennessee Williams' Sweet Bird of Youth. Tonight on NBC, the ex-UCLA was a Heisman candidate, Mark Harmon.
He sure was.
In his senior year, right? Do you ever think that you'll possibly be on NBC's primetime lineup in some kind of movie like that someday?
Only if it's an accident, I got to tell you. That Sweet Bird of Youth is kind of flowing past the Miami Dolphins. They're in danger of losing the Dan Marino years if they aren't able to put together a defense or a running game to complement his ability. This is just another day in the frustrating life for Don Shula and his coaching staff over the past 4 or 5 years.
So what they have done here is they've tacked on this penalty after the Jensen catch and when he went out of bounds, and they've moved the ball now down inside the 30 at the 29-yard line.
That's exactly what they've done. A personal foul is tacked on to the end of the play. So they got the Jensen catch down the sideline, then tacked on another 15 yards. It gives the Dolphins the first down at the 29.
Don Shula waiting. I think he's going to get an explanation now from one of the officials. Nope, he's just running over to the sideline. One of the officials is coming over to the Miami bench, and he's going to pick up the telephone. Bobby Skelton over there on the phone. That's your replay official, Jack Fetty, up off to our left here in the Astrodome.
It's a bit confusing. What you can do with replays is check the position of the football. They cannot go back and look to see if it was actually a penalty or not a penalty. That is not under the preview of the replay official. The only thing they can do is check for the position on the field. Maybe they're trying to figure out where exactly Jensen went out of bounds so they can tack the ball the 15 yards on adequately.
Well, we had him at the 44, didn't we, going out? At the 44-yard line. As they continue to talk it over, we had him at the 40. Now here's Jensen at the 50. It's not out of bounds there. About the 44-yard line, the 43. That's where McDowell knocked him out. 15 yards from there would have them at the 29.
But again, they cannot be going back to look to see if the penalty was correct, in a personal foul situation, because that is not part of what the job of the instant replay official is. The item that you can talk about then is possession. Did a player have possession? Obviously, Jensen did. Was he out of bounds at a certain spot? That's another question they can be discussing, and maybe we will get an explanation by the officials.
So the telephone call is wrapped up. Jerry Glanville and all of us are waiting now to see what the decision is.
At the review by the replay official, ball was at the correct spot, first down and 10.
So that's what it was all about.
That's the exact call. Just checking to see if they put the ball 15 yards from where Jensen was knocked out of bounds.
And they did. It's now at the 29-yard line after the penalty. Freddie Banks is into the lineup now, to wide receiver spot. Jim Jensen in the backfield with Marino. That's going to be picked off, and that might go all the way. Robert Lyles. No, a great catch from behind by Farrell Edmonds.
Marino going for Farrell Edmonds, the big tight end, number 8. Great coverage on the part of Lyles stepping in front now. But watch the speed of Farrell Edmonds. Lyles had a running start on him. Everybody else had given up on it. A clear touchdown, but look at the speed of Edmonds catching him from behind. Great coverage by Lyles. Great determination and speed by Edmonds. Another look at it, right part of your screen. Marino simply is undercut by Lyles on the coverage. And Farrell Edmonds refusing to give up. That's a good sign on the Dolphins' part. Runs them down from behind.
And you know, you can't say that Lyles was really slow of foot there.
Well, he had the running start when he made the interception, and Farrell Edmonds had to redirect himself and start running the other way.
The ball is at the Miami 24-yard line. 12:24 left. Tracy Johnson. A nice play by Miami's defense. Jeff Cross is over there, along with Dave Aarons. They both team up to shut down that running play by Tracy Johnson. Johnson's a rookie out of Clemson. Marino with the helmet off. At what point now do you take him out?
I don't think you take him out. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think you do. Scott Sekiel is the backup to Marino. Has never played a regular down of football. He came over from Dallas this past year.
But what if he took a lick in a 25-0 game?
Well, Marino did a smart thing when he threw that interception. He stood there. He did not go chasing down the sideline. He did that a couple of years ago and was injured on the play, and I think he's learned from it.
Well, they lost a yard on that play. Second down and 11. Boy, Houston wants more. Duncan's there. Touchdown! Flag down in the end zone. J.B. Braun was the defender.
If you remember earlier, Duncan missed his play. Remember, he dropped the ball in the end zone, the same exact play, that little stutter step at the line of scrimmage. You got Brown going to the corner of the end zone, and he dropped the one during the third quarter. This time, he yanked down for the touchdown.
Personal foul, number 37 of the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown is good.
Left side of your screen, the quarterback we should be talking more about is Warren Moon. He's having a tremendous day. Look at this perfect pass. Perfect. That looked like a replay, an instant replay of the play in the third quarter where Duncan beat Brown to the corner. but dropped the football. This time, the perfect throw by Warren Moon. They get another touchdown up on the board. Now it may be time to think about taking Danny Marino out.
I really think so. 31-0 and a chance to make it 32. 32-0 Oilers. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Seacles apparently will take over for Dan Marino. Seacles, a 6th-round draft choice out of Virginia a couple of years ago with the Dallas Cowboys, traded to the Miami Dolphins after the drafting of Troy Aikman and Steve Walsh. He has never played a regular season down in the NFL. He's about to take his first snap.
Now this kickoff will be teed up right on the Oilers' helmet at the 50-yard line. That's because of the personal foul penalty on J.B. Brown in the end zone. Oh, Dan's had so many great days. This is a very rare sight.
It is a rare sight. Marino has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in NFL history through his first 7 years. And I think it is safe to say that he will not break the record of Norman Brockman today, at least.
Zendejas into the first row as Logan just watched it sail over his shoulder. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Houston Oilers and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, Miami Dolphins, and Houston Oilers, all rights reserved.
And that is Mojo, who's the equipment manager for the Houston Oilers, who will always rouse the crowd with his grabbing the kickoff tee, getting off the field.
You know, it's hard to believe that he's so animated. At practice the other day, very low-key, very quiet.
Very quiet guy.
Yeah.
Reminds you of a banker or something, and then he brings him to the game on Sunday afternoon, and he goes crazy.
All the world's a stage. Scott Seacles in there at quarterback. 32-0 Houston. Look out, Scott. Oh, he stepped right up there and unloaded, and it's incomplete out at the 40-yard line.
And that was the first snap that Scott Seacles has ever taken from center. He came over. He's got a strong arm, the book on him, strong arm, good mobility. And one of the reasons he's here is because, of course, David Shula, now the offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys. And when Don Shula was looking for a backup quarterback, David called and said, hey, we got a guy. We don't have any room for him, but he's got a strong arm and he's mobile. And Don Shula has liked him a great deal.
In fact, they had cut Cliff Stout. He's going to keep it here right at the end of the preseason and kept Seacles. Now Stout is back with the team, though inactive today, but Seacles has been the number 2 guy. Well, he runs it for 2 yards, and it's 3rd down and 8. Ray Childress makes the tackle. Marino's numbers unofficially: 103 yards, 11 for 29, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns.
And that after having tremendous success against this Houston Oilers defense in the past. He had 60% completions, 8 touchdowns in the past, 5 interceptions. And today, you got to give credit, a lot of credit to Jerry Glanville, because he mixed his defenses up, blitzed occasionally, not that often, and really did a job on Dan Marino.
3rd down and 7. Incomplete, almost picked off. It ended up going off the hands of Richard Johnson, who already has 1 interception today. Dishman over there congratulating him, and Seacles to the sidelines.
And this Oilers secondary should be congratulated. A week ago, they were maligned, beaten up by Jim Kelly. And today, they have done just an incredible job, all of them. Steve Brown, number 24, Dishman, Patrick Allen, Richard Johnson. They have all done a tremendous job of shutting down the most potent offense in football. At least before today, they were.
That's Reggie Roby. And this snap is good, right waist high, and he rides it out of there. Good high punt, fair catch. Kenny Johnson at the 32-yard line. And we'll have to check and see now if maybe we'll have a new quarterback for the Houston Oilers. If maybe we'll get a look at Cody Carlson. Yes, Warren Moon says, put the helmet on and get in there. 10:24 left to go in the game. Houston riding a big win today.
Have seen against the Miami Dolphin defense.
Cody Carlson is in his 3rd year out of Baylor. Tracy Johnson is the fullback. And Alan Pinkett is there, too. We have a flag down, and we have whistles blowing the play dead. Incidentally, Pinkett's gone over a milestone today, over 1,000 yards rushing now in his NFL career. He did that earlier in the game.
Ball start, number 74, the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Bruce Matthews, what a story he is. He's the one who goes offside here. Take a look at him. He is the right offensive guard. With a little movement, picks his hand up. But Bruce Matthews may be as good an offensive guard that has ever played this game. He is sometimes compared to John Hanna, the ex-New England Patriot great. Tremendous strength, great drive blocker, can handle a pass rush as well as anyone. One of the best to ever play the game.
A new center in there, George Yarno, is snapping now for the Oilers. Here's Pinkett. And he reads his blocks well and carries out over the 25-yard line out to the 30.
An unusual thing about Yarno, he happens to be a left-handed snapper, which is can be strange as the scuffling continues, as it has most of the afternoon.
Well, here's a note for you. 103 yards passing by Dan Marino is the lowest in his career as a starter and the second lowest all time. 13-6 Cleveland leading in the fourth. The Chiefs leading in the fourth. And New Orleans has lost their lead to Washington in the fourth. Pittsburgh looks like they'll be 2-2.
Rodney Peete starting for Detroit today, apparently not with a big day.
31-10 Buffalo in control, and Atlanta leading. Well, they had Chuck Noll out of there, didn't they, in Pittsburgh? Back in there, Pinkett on the carry, and Pinkett out over the 35-yard line, out to the 37.
This ball went directly to Alan Pinkett. Cody Carlson faked as if he was going back to pass. This is a play the Oilers will use on occasion. Watch it. The snap goes directly to Alan Pinkett.
They used to do that a lot with Rozier. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago in the playoffs out in Denver, deep, hemmed up in their first series of the game, they did a direct snap, and it really blew up on them, and they never really got back into that game. They used to always snap it to Rozier. Third down and 5. 8:58 left to go, and it's 32-0 Houston. Carlson, the flag goes down. Lorenzo White, will he go down? Yes, finally at the 30-yard line. There is no flag down on the play. So this run stands. Lorenzo White down to the 30-yard line.
Looked like he was back at Michigan State for just a moment. Pull it back? I don't think so. This guy can do it all. Take a look at him. Watch the hole up front. Matthews with that big block in front, number 74. And then the rest of it's all Lorenzo White. He gets a good block downfield from Drew Hill, who gets after a couple of people.
White now has 90 yards rushing in the day. And a breather to the sideline. Alonzo Smith right behind him. Boy, what a backfield that is. Very, very young.
This is as talented an offense when you look at it position by position as there is in the NFL. They've got 3 first-round draft choices on that offensive line. They are full of first-round draft choices on the backfield, both at running back and at the fullback position.
Time is called now. I think Houston called that one. Jerry Glanville will talk with his quarterback. 7:55 left. Houston in control.
Warren Moon, and people are indeed starting to give the Houston Oilers respect and mentioning them with the best teams in the league. As I mentioned, offensively, this club has as much talent as any team in football.
1st and 10. Pinkett reads left, cuts right to the 25. Greg Clark on the tackle. Barry Krause on the tackle, and then quickly gets up to see what's going on. Steinkuhler is wrapped up there with I can say, I think it's Rick Graff.
Yeah, you're right. Number 99, Rick Graff. Excuse me, that's number 98, Jackie Klein, who's getting in the middle of the brouhaha.
So it's 2nd down and 5 at the 25-yard line. Johnson's the fullback. Pinkett tailback out of the I formation. 2 wide receivers. Pinkett toss again. I'll tell you what, Johnson gave Pinkett a pretty good block there to get him around that corner, and he cuts inside the 20-yard line with a flag down.
In case you're wondering what the worst defeat in Miami Dolphin history was, it was way back in 1967, a 41-0 defeat at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. That was before Don Shula's time.
Check out the penalty now. Here it comes with Dale Hamer.
to the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Next week, Houston travels to Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
Top of your screen, number 88, called for the infraction. That is Chris Verhulst, the tight end for the Houston Oilers. He is hanging on to a couple of people there. Gets flagged for it. Pinkett will have to take that run back.
So the Oilers hit the road next week. They'll play the Patriots. Miami goes home. They'll play Cleveland. 6:45 left in the game. After the penalty now, second down at 15. Pinkett. Sometimes when he gets in a crowd like that, he's actually hard to find.
And that's one of the positives of running the screen pass to him. You know, he gets in all those big offensive linemen. Take a look at him. He's going to sneak in and try to hide among Matthews and Steinkuhler and the rest of the crew, and it's difficult to find him around a big offensive lineman. And he's got that great stop-start ability that is the signal of all good running backs.
Big block by the new left tackle into the game, 78 Don Maggs, as he wiped out a couple of Dolphins. Tom Olivadotti, the defensive coordinator of Miami, would have been out on the field a long, long time. Third down and 5. Lorenzo White kept his feet and got a first down by doing it. He was on his way down, but then stayed upright, got inside the 20, and that's a first down for the Oilers.
Take a look at him. This is just a little delay play. Carlson comes back as if he's going to throw the football and slips it off inside. And again, good blocking by the Houston Oilers front against that Miami Dolphin defense that has not had much success today. They're worn down. You're right. After this amount of time, there's very little Tom Olivadotti can do to try and stop the running attack of the Oilers.
So it's a first and 10 now. Inside the Miami 20. They'll go to Pinkett now. And Pinkett carries down to the Miami 17-yard line. As Pinkett comes up. Now, Cincinnati has taken the lead. Leon White has picked up a fumble and scored for the Bengals in the fourth quarter. Christian Okoye fumbled in that game. Washington leads New Orleans in the fourth. Pittsburgh's added to their lead. Indianapolis got ahead of the Jets, and Minnesota in control over Tampa Bay. Buffalo will win, and Atlanta being challenged now by Green Bay. Just 1 point separating the two there in the fourth quarter. 32-0. Houston in the lead.
I think back to once in my career when I was a member of the Miami Dolphins that a defeat was this bad. The Dolphins were beaten at that time by the Patriots 34-0 in Foxborough. And the only way I could describe the locker room afterward was ugly. It was an ugly time. Don Shula did not take losing very well. It was a very somber locker room. And I think that's probably what will happen again when they go in today.
Jarvis Williams was the injured player. He comes off. I want to ask you, though, they'll be back home next week. They will take on Cleveland. Marino's had a bad game throwing. How would you like to be the Browns defense knowing that he's going to come out ready to prove something in that game as we watch Alan Pinkett? And Pinkett gets down inside the 15. I mean, there haven't been too many times in his career that he's had one bad game, never mind two.
Yeah, he's also the kind of a player, kind of a person that does not take defeat extremely well. He can joke about it on occasion. I can recall playing in the Super Bowl with Danny a couple of years ago when he had maybe as bad a day as he has had today against the San Francisco 49ers a few years ago. We got into a car after the game, and someone had taken a bottle of champagne and stuck it back there, and he looked totally disgusted. We were driving through this long line of 49er fans. They noticed he was in the car. They were throwing items at him. And he turned around, he popped the top on that champagne bottle, looked at me and said, well, did we get ourselves kicked in the behind or what? And he laughed. What else can you do after you've given it all you've gotten and you were beaten? But he's not the kind of player. He's got great competitive spirit that next week, you're right, he will be up, and it could be trouble for the Cleveland Browns secondary.
103 yards. It's fourth down and less than one, and Cody Carlson looks over. Jerry Glanville's been kicking in this situation all day long, but I think today, and with the score being what it is right now, why not let them go? And they will.
It's a tough situation for Jerry Glanville, because if he kicks it through, then people are going to accuse him of running up the score. If he goes for it on 4th and 1, they're going to accuse him of the same thing. Tough choice for him.
So it's 4th and 1 with 3:08 left in the game. The ball close to the 10-yard line. Pickett's got the 1 and 6 points to boot. Touchdown, Houston.
There it is again, Alan Pinkett, the guard from the backside coming across. Bruce Davis, the tackle, doing a good job. Matthews, 74, that offensive line of the Houston Oilers just pounding away, and Pinkett doing a good job of picking behind him. There's another look at it. Don Maggs, number 78, is pulling across. He was the guard I was looking for. Buries the defensive back trying to come up and inside. Matthews does a good job, and Pinkett slips into the end zone just about untouched till he crosses the goal line.
Zendejas nails it through, and it's now 39-0. After a Pinkett touchdown from 10 yards out on 4th down and 1. No pained expression in the house of pain for Jerry Glanville today. The American League Championship Series, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Toronto and Oakland. Should be a great, great series there. The second game of the American League Championship Series will be on Wednesday afternoon. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series is on Wednesday night, and that has San Francisco at Wrigley Field taking on the Chicago Cubs.
Should be a great championship series on both sides of the ball.
And, of course, the possibility being a Bay Area World Series if Oakland and San Francisco win. Now, next week, NFL Live coming up at 12:30. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and the Insiders, and then you'll be seeing some of these games. Cleveland at Miami, Houston at New England, where Jimmy and I will be appearing at Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, and Buffalo and Indianapolis. So check your local listings for the game in your area. Well done, Crazy George, today.
He did a good job cheering his team onto a 39-point win. I can't tell you how far up in the mind of Don Shula Mark Logan has just gone. You know, because when you're down 39-0, most people are just going to be saying, let's just get this thing over with, forget about it. And these are the people you look for. That's why you play until the end of the game to find out who really wants to be around. And obviously Mark Logan does. Good move on the kicker, Zendejas, and that's what gave him the touchdown run. But Logan, in the mind of Don Shula, I can tell you this, is just raised another 20 notches because he wants to play regardless of the score, and that's the kind of people that you can win with.
Stoyanovich will attempt the extra point. CQ's holds, and it's good, and Miami's on the board thanks to a 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by that man, number 20, Mark Logan. 39-7, Oilers in the lead as the Dolphins avoid the shutout.
Take another look at it. Now, the Oilers really pride themselves on having great special teams, and they do. They have been one of the best in the league for a long time under Jerry Glanville. Some nice blocks up front, but, I mean, he never gets touched. He puts the final move on Zendejas, and then from 55 yards away, no one is anywhere near him. You got to wonder whether or not the Houston Oilers thought this one was simply over. Dishman chases him into the end zone. And, of course, it is over, but for all respects. But from a coach's line, you always have to take a look and say, hey, let me find out who wants to play this game till the very end. That's why they watch the fourth quarter of blowouts.
2:40 left now as Miami will kick off. .103 yards passing for Dan Marino today, 2 interceptions.
And no touchdowns. That is just the 9th time in his career that he has gone through a football game here in Miami without throwing an interception.
And though I'm sure they were all thrilled by the run by Mark Logan because it was a thing of beauty, there's just not too much celebration on that Miami sideline, as it's been an extremely long afternoon. Right from their first possession And I go back to the batted pass. Sean Jones batted the ball, and it ended up as an interception. And from that point on, Houston's confidence defensively on how they were going to defend against Marino just seemed to rise.
And Jerry Glanville touched right on it the other day. He said, when the ball is tipped up in the air, we've been working well all week. You got to get them.
Onside kick attempt now. And the Oilers cover nicely as they had their good hands team. That might have been a tight end, Verhulst, down on the ball, and it was. 88 makes the coverage. That's about as close to the football that a tight end does get these days with the Oilers.
I'd tell you, this is the worst team in the world to be on. They stick you on that good hands team, and you get drilled. I mean, people are just drawing a beat on you, and whether you get it clean and aren't to fall to the ground, they're just running you over. I used to hate the end of football games when they say, all right, put that good hands team in there. I always try to not be one of the people chosen.
Verhulst is a second-year man out of Chico State. Jerry Glanville looking on. The ball is at the 45-yard line, 2.5 to go. Pinkett to the 42-yard line and thrown back.
The last time the Dolphins returned a kickout for a touchdown was Super Bowl 17 when Fulton Walker took one 98 yards for a score. And then in the regular season, you've got to go all the way back to 1981 when, again, Fulton Walker did it against the Buffalo Bills.
2 minutes to go in this afternoon at the Astrodome. Long day, isn't it?
Sure is.
We'll be back. By Budweiser, today's MVP, number 32, Alonzo Highsmith from the Houston Oilers. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game.
You know how you can tell if you played a good game? I mean, once you're on the field, sometimes you can't tell whether you were good or not good because you're just concentrating on play after play. There's always a big ring of people around you. Take a look at Alonzo Highsmith. Everybody wants to hang around the guy who had the best game. Mike Rozier is there. He's the man in the striped shirt. The all-pro running back who's out because of a knee injury. But Alonzo Highsmith gets my vote for the early leader in the Pro Bowl balloting for the fullback spot.
Now, likewise, nobody is sitting with us up here in the booth. Does that mean any comment on our performance?
Hey, I got a lot of people on my side, Jim. I don't know what you're doing over there.
42-yard line. It is 2nd down and 7. 2 minutes to go. Lorenzo White. He almost got away there.
Jim, this is a team, the Houston Oilers club, that was most devastated by the Plan B free agency of the NFL last year. They lost 15 players to the Plan B, and what that did was gut them of all of their quality depth. They spent 3 or 4 years building quality and depth, and sure enough, 15 players signed Plan B, and they didn't sign any of them.
Now, 11 of the 15 made NFL rosters, and in fact, 6 start for other teams. So what they did really was enhance the depth of other teams in the NFL. Mark Logan, who took back the kickoff, 97 yards for the Dolphins, is a Plan B free agent from Cincinnati. Another team that also had a lot of depth, the Bengals. It's Pinkett to the 41. And we're down to a minute left. John Bosa and David Fry on the tackle.
On the other side, when you win a game like this, and I've been a part of a couple of games as a winner on this side of the ball, it is the most fun you'll ever have in a dome stadium. I mean, when you're up by 32 points with a quarter to go, you can relax. Everybody jokes and has a good time on the sideline. Nobody's mad at anyone. No one's pointing the finger. The injuries seem not to hurt quite as much. On the other side, when you're losing by this score, every little injury is the most painful thing you can imagine. And everybody starts thinking about their job security because Don Shula, I'll guarantee you, the most important part of this game for him was the 4th quarter. He's going to go in and find out who wanted to play and who didn't want to play when his team was down by 32 points.
And Marino will think about this one and try and get themselves and himself turned around for a big game against Cleveland next week as Miami will dip down to 1-3. There was a delay of game penalty called against Houston as they let the play clock run out with 15 left in the game. Montgomery will punt as Miami is sending out their return team now with 15 seconds left. And in fact, they'll just put 11 men up on the line of scrimmage and go after it. Montgomery gets it away, though. At the 7 and into the end zone. Touchback. 6 seconds remaining, now down to 5 as Montgomery tried to pin it out of bounds. And the Oilers on the other side now will even up at 2-2. And they'll wait to see how Cleveland does and how Cincinnati does and Pittsburgh.
And the prospects are turning pretty good for the Houston Oilers. Next week they go up to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. The Patriots have had their problems. On the other hand, the Dolphins now will fall to 1-3, and they've got to go home at Joe Robbie Stadium and try to quell the Cleveland Browns in that club.
There's Warren Moon talking with, I think, a young fan over there.
He's a likable guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he really was a very, very nice guy. Talking with a couple of the youngsters down there.
We spent some time with him the other day, and just as nice a young man as you'll find. He's a real leader on this club. You know, when Chris Dishman, the defensive back, got called for a couple of unsportsmanlike penalties, it was Moon who went over and said, now look, we're a football team. You got to play smarter than that. He's a real leader.
Last play of the game. Seacouls rolls away, fires it, and it is caught by Andre Brown. And there's the final gun, and Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers win, and Don Shula takes the walk across the field on one of the longest days of his career coaching in the NFL. As the Oilers dominate today.